amazing. The remontada we had against Liverpool, outstanding performance from the boys. I think if I'm Arsenal, I'll be worried because this is showing a different Man City. This is exactly Man City we've been witnessing. The start of the season starts now. And I think we're winning the league, man. I feel so happy. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. We're coming for that league, and Robbie knows it. Chris will see it. Today, I think this season might be a historic season for us. I think the way we win the league, I'm so happy, man.
It's a turnaround. This is a statement win, isn't it, really? Yeah.
Who scored his 28th goal for City this season.
See? BBC love me, man. They love me. They call me. Mwah! They know I'm making it, man. I'm going to win the league. Mwah! Guys, mwah! See you at the terrace, guys. Hey, let me do a little dance. And I'll see you at La Lahwa. Hey, a little dance, bro. You see this? I have to play like this. We, when Santos used to win the league. Hey.
All my ops stink. All my ops on the t-shirt, they're all dead. I need better ops. Do you understand?
Have you ever seen the film? Have you ever seen the film about the Air Jordans with
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Was that Cal?
Cal, you're right, bro.
Cal, you're good.
Has Cal just collapsed? Did the chair just give up on Cal?
What the hell?
Cal, you all right, mate?
Hi.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. You see why we're late? I'll be honest with you, the one guy who has never ever been late to a show is Dio. Respect to Dio, he has always been here on time. Everyone else has been late at some point in time and all that. You get me? So Dio's never been late. To be fair to Vader, he's usually like only 5 minutes late or something. He's never extra late. You see, guys, why now we don't start? It's not any of us three's fault. Where's Lewis? On the way. Where's Flawless? I'll be on in 5. Where's Jay? God knows when he's gonna join the stream. So it's never our fault, chat. Okay. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Keep getting involved in the chat. Keep letting us know your opinions, and of course, Vader, do your thing.
Woo! I appreciate that. Let's go.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Vader Games.
What a weekend. What a weekend. And you know what? Should we do it again?
Yeah.
Let's run it back. Let's go.
reintroduce myself. My name is
Vader Games.
We're going to have a great show, I'm telling you. I know right now it's just the three of us, but we got a lot to talk about. And for us, maybe not to talk over each other, maybe it's best this way. I'm really eager to hear what Dio has to say because I did miss Dio from the last show. Good to see that he's healthy and returned. We weren't able to have the conversation post League Cup final, which he had tremendous confidence going in, but we don't need to discuss that. It's unfortunately 2 back-to-back losses, so we'll see what he has to say with regards to the FA Cup. But large up, thanks for having me on.
Big up. How are you, Dio? You good, brother?
I'm much better, man. Much better. Still trying to, recoup. You can still hear it in my voice, and when I cough, people, if I cough in between, please apologies. I'm not going to be able to mute in between as I'm speaking. I still have bouts of coughs. I've got a whole bunch of. This is medication upon medication on more medication.
Get well soon, baby.
So it's all, but it's all better now. I'm much better. So yeah. Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
I'm glad you're good, Habibi. I'm glad you're good. Lewis the fraud is here, of course, because he couldn't make last episode because he double booked. But Chelsea win a game and all of a sudden he doesn't double book. It's crazy.
Wah.
Yeah, the funny part about Lewis is he never double booked a show after a Chelsea win ever. I wonder when he's gonna make that mistake right there.
Hey, it's not my fault. I don't even remember what the show was, but we moved.
I'm just saying, maybe one day double book after a win. I just want to check if you're capable of it.
Yeah, after you docked Burnley at home because you had to go on the big 6. A big whoop, bro.
That's not called double booking. That's an opportunity, you fraud.
Yeah, that's also double booking. That is literally double booking, you fraud.
No, I cancelled the whole show.
This is why you're a top gaslighter.
How's that?
You did the same thing.
Anyway,
disgrace.
Speaking of double booking, things haven't gotten better for Dio. In terms of like the last episode he missed because.
For you, bruv. Oh, I need Arsenal to win the cup. Hold that, bruv. Hold that. I didn't hear that.
City
Wow.
got me. Liverchester City next. No.
Oh, it's City pool now.
Hell yeah. Anyone but Chelsea, bro. You think I'm joking about that? I ain't joking. I'm playing around.
I love that we got you so much over City now. That means a lot. That actually means a lot.
Yeah. Of course. I've said this publicly, though. I do hate the Chelsea more than City. So it's not a new opinion.
Oh, I haven't heard that one then, Faz.
Wow.
I've said that. The order for me is United, Chelsea, City, and then Arsenal.
I'm surprised you hate us more than
Yeah.
City, though. The amount of league titles that City has cop blocked for you, you could have had a whole era for yourself.
I grew up on Benitez Mourinho, and the slip game was Chelsea, and the Caicedo thing, and you wanted to buy Gerrard. There's plenty of reasons to hate Chelsea. Like, don't get me wrong. There's plenty.
I kind of hear it. To be honest, United did the same thing to us, but I don't really hate them the same way as do the London sides.
Yeah,
So I can't really say too much.
I hear you. Yeah, but that's why I hate United more than Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, they rival. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, makes
Chelsea
sense.
will never be numero uno because Man United exists. Can't stand Man United for me. Anyway,
Same thing for United because Arsenal exist.
speaking of, you get me, Arsenal Football Club. Dio. So
Yes.
what the hell is going on, Habibi? Talk to the people. What's going on?
I don't know what's going on. They got 2 back-to-back losses, and everybody's losing their flipping mind. I'm like, again, it's disgraceful performance. Let's talk about performance first. Disgraceful, but it doesn't bother me about the Premier League itself because 7 of those players who played in the FA Cup are not going to be playing in the Premier League. That's not the team playing in the Premier League. So
Does it not bother you getting losing
No,
2
no,
cups?
that's what I just said. I just said that bothers me. Like, that's disgraceful. But those players are not the guys playing in the Premier League. So my performance in the Premier League, I'm not worried about. I would have been way more worried if we played the Premier League team in the FA Cup and they performed like that against Southampton. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if we had Raya in goal, if we had Timber in the team, if we had like Eze playing, and we had everybody playing like Trossard and Saka, and they perform that way, I'll be very worried about the league. I'll be panicking now because I'll be like, look, these are the guys who are going to play against Porto. These are the guys who are going to play against Bournemouth. These are the guys who are going to play against City in the league. And if they're performing like this against Southampton, that would have given me a problem. I'm disappointed that we dropped out of the FA Cup against the Southampton team. I think the team we feel that was strong enough to actually go on and get a win. You had players there who need to prove a point. And Gabriel Jesus, you're on the pitch for 70 minutes, 55, 60 minutes, whatever it is, and you don't even get a shot on target. You don't even get a shot on target. Like, so for me, that game, very disappointed in it. I think it's, again, just looking at the team and the way I analyze the team is if you're playing your strongest team, there's a different level of confidence from your players. For example, if Raya is in goal, I know that our defenders are a lot more comfortable than when Kepa is in goal. If you notice how they play out from the back, very, very different. So, we could have done better against Southampton. At the beginning of the season, I set out 1 goal and 1 goal only. And unless anybody here wants to come and deny it, I said, there's just 2 things I want. I want to win the Premier League because I've gone back-to-back second 3 times. I want to win the Premier League, and I want to go very far in the Champions League. I would have picked up those 2 trophies. I would have been very, very happy. But that's not my goal. Like, personal goal for me. Because if we win the FA Cup and we win the Carabao Cup and we lose out on the Premier League and the Champions League, that's not a successful season for me. Because back-to-back for 3 years, you've gone second and you've not been able to get the Premier League. So winning the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup is not going to paper over those cracks for me. Losing them this time around is annoying for me because we put ourselves in a position to be able to get multiple trophies. And so that's very disappointing that we're not doing that. Against the Southampton, against any team, it doesn't matter. If you put yourself in that position, you should try to go for it. But again, the major...
Do you not think it doesn't impact you in the Prem, though? Because I get it, you rotated. Even though there's some players, like you still have to look at Gabriel, both Gabriels, to be honest, and Havertz to a point. But it's more just the fact of now there's so much more pressure, I feel like, piling in for you from your own fan base. Because I think your fan base in general has always been a little bit worried about finding a way to bottle it because you guys have just done that the whole time, to be honest. But past that, because you've now lost 2 cups in 2 games back to back, I feel like pressure is building more and more within your own fan base towards your own squad. But this is why staying in those competitions and probably winning the Carabao would have been way more important. Not important. It would be important for you in the long run.
Lewis, I agree with you that pressure is building. I'm not saying pressure is not building. I'm saying for the Premier League, I'm not worried because it's not the exact same team. Does not mean there's no pressure. I'm not worried because the team that is going to play in the Champions League and in the Premier League is not the team that played in the FA Cup. The team that played in the FA Cup was to help us alleviate that pressure that you're talking about, and they did not do that. So I expect the senior players who are like the first 11, the first team now, to carry on doing what they've done all season in the Premier League. Because again, in the Premier League, in total, we've only lost 3 games all season. I think.
How many draws?
We have 6 draws, and I think we've lost. Let me pull up the thing.
That's why I still feel like the slips could happen. I don't think you'll lose games. I think you'll draw though.
Yeah, but City have to win 8 games in total for them to win the win the league.
They have shown that they can do that though in the running.
Do
we want to talk about the league and just
no
over this FA Cup?
No, it's because you asked the question about the
that was on me.
You asked the question, you said how many draws. So I wanted to pull it up and tell you what the draws are. I'm responding to what you asked me.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So again, for me, like I said, winning those cups would have been amazing, and it would have alleviated pressure. But then, the goal for Arsenal has always been the Premier League, which for me is the goal that I set at the beginning of the season. If you remember, I clearly stated it. I clearly stated that because we've come second 3 times back to back, I want to be able to win the Premier League. And because we've gotten to the quarterfinal and the semi-final of the Champions League, I want to be able to go far in the Champions League. I didn't say win it, but at least go far. That for me would be a successful season for Mikel Arteta this season. Now, going forward, whatever you need to do to rack in trophies and get more trophies, do it. But right now, I think we're on track to win the Premier League. So yeah.
And again, if you guys will notice, everybody in the chat, I'm doing my best to let Dio speak and not interrupt. But I did have to take note, because when we want to talk about the FA Cup, Dio quickly diverted to what is most important for the season. And I think it's more important to talk about this FA Cup, because obviously you're going to want the bigger trophies. Obviously you're going to deflect. You're going to have conversations on, if you're going to ask me what I want, you're going to say the Prem, you're going to say Champions League. But with regards to this FA Cup, which has been labeled as Arsenal's trophy, right? They've won the most of them. This performance in particular, this manager that's not been able to get over the line, and when I say get over the line, it's not even making it further in the tournament, it's crashing out now, right? I think, and I could be wrong, Dio was probably eager, happy, maybe excited, maybe even pointing at, we got the better draw with regards to advancing in this FA Cup. So when you see the players that are going to have to be leaned on, or should be able to be leaned on to beat a Southampton, it is very telling. And I'd rather talk about the performance. I'd rather talk about who did show up, who didn't show up. You know, the fact that we can also revisit the uncomfortable conversations about no set pieces, no wins. Like the goals are kind of drying up a little bit. What do you say about the performance overall? Because you did have some early subs, 30 minutes remaining in the game to try to catch this result. What do you think of the players and how they performed against a championship Southampton?
Like I said, the players didn't perform well. That was the first thing I said. I talked about Kepa, and I said that doesn't breed enough confidence. Like when Raya is in goal, I mentioned that. And I mentioned we had 7 players on the pitch who are not going to play in the Premier League. And again, those players, Miles Lewis-Skelly. Hold on.
No, but you're talking about the Premier League.
No, hold on. Again, I'm still addressing your question. I just mentioned, I said Miles Lewis-Skelly, for example, needed to stake a claim. He did not stake a claim, like the way he played. Gabriel Jesus, I mentioned Gabriel Jesus. I said you had 60 minutes on the pitch as a striker. You had no shots on target as a striker. I mentioned that when I started talking. You're asking about the players. Before I went on to talk about the Premier League, I said all of this. I said Gabriel Jesus, no shots on target. The only person that made a difference, which for me was Max Dallman, a 16-year-old. Now, Odegaard, back from injury, played 65 minutes. I think he did what Odegaard does, right? Which is he was able to string some passes together, had a shot on target, created 3 chances that were not converted. And so for me, the key people, and if you look at the people who eventually scored the equalizer for Arsenal, because we were 1-0 down Southampton, the 3 people who made that goal happen, right? Barring Kai Havertz, who passed the ball for cut back for Gyökeres. It was 2 senior players who are going to play in the Prem. It was Gabriel Magalhaes with a through ball all the way to Kai, who then cut back, and it was Gyökeres who scored. So my point again is like, we needed the big boys. If we need the big boys to go beat Southampton, then these guys who played on that day, you know, they're not up to par. And I'm glad they're not the ones playing against City. I'm glad they're not the ones who are going to play against Porto. So again, they did not perform well. If you want individual player breakdown, those are the guys that I felt like. Kai Havertz, I don't think he did enough. I don't think Kai Havertz did enough. Like I said, Max Dalman for me, playing as a 7 and then coming back to play as a 10 was the only player that I felt showed any stake, that showed that, listen, I'm ready to make it into the first team. Every other person, you know, Ben White looked shaky from beginning. And you could see it. He was flustered. Every single time he was pushing people, pulling people, doing all kinds of madness. And I think that stems from like low confidence. So yeah, the team we feel that should be good enough to beat Southampton, but did not do it. But that doesn't worry me for the first team. That's all I'm saying. So yeah.
No, well, I don't want to have the first team conversation just yet. But do you think the players not being able to do what was asked of them is because of how the manager set them up? Was the manager outclassed with regards to the players being set up for this game, or did the players just not execute against Championship Southampton?
These players just did not execute, because again, if you look at the total stats and the total shots, we had more shots, but they were not being clinical with it. They didn't take their chances. It took Gyökeres coming off the bench to actually make it happen. So my question is, if you've had 6 shots before Gyökeres comes in and he's had 1 shot on target and he's put it in the back of the net, like he's come on, he's had his only 1 opportunity and he's put it in the back of the net, then there's something wrong with the rest of you guys, because you've created these chances. The manager is not going to get on the pitch and put the ball in the back of the net. That's not his job. His job is to set you up to create those chances. And those chances were created. And what did Arsenal do? Like defensively as well, all it took was for Southampton to have 1 long ball and they're cutting through the defense. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? What happens to the same formation? And you could see, if you look at the bench cam, Arteta kept on doing this to them. Head loss, all of you, stop, calm down. Head loss, calm down. When his assistant managers came and stood beside him, they spoke before they made the changes, and you can see him telling them, calm down.
Okay,
like,
so
again,
well, and I got one more thing. To ask, because you mentioned it a few times about first team. Would your expectation now be, because you're no longer in the FA Cup, is your expectation now with Champions League and the Prem to be seeing the same, pretty much the same 11 starters?
Oh, he's done on Arsenal.
We'll wait for him to come back. I mean,
I'll be honest with you. I think, because I call it out in Chelsea, I will call it out in Arsenal as well. I think there is a little bit of scapegoating going on in the Arsenal fan base in terms of like.
Sorry, something happened with my internet. I missed your question.
No worries. I think there's a bit of scapegoating going on with like the Arsenal fan base, because just like I call it out in Chelsea, I have to call it out in Arsenal. I think there's just been a Kepa pile on, and I went back and I watched both. I went and I watched both goals. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure that even Raya would save them. Like both of them are very difficult chances. Like I watched the first goal. The first goal, respectfully, like Alisson and Courtois and like Gordon Banks are not saving that. It's a fantastic finish. The second goal, I hear why there's a bit of criticism, but still you're expecting him to save that. Like he's literally 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. It's a very tough ask. And even Mo said it. Like I spoke to Mo after the game, and he said, Kepa was moving the ball quickly and everything. So I feel like everyone's just piling on to Kepa. I'll be honest with you. I think, in my opinion, the worst player on the pitch for Arsenal was their captain, Martin Odegaard. And, we speak about standards and, we hold Salah to a high standard and we hold KDB to a high standard, blah, blah, blah. Okay, apply it to Arsenal too. The Odegaards and the captains. For me, that was Odegaard probably worst Arsenal game I've seen in a long time. In a long time, bro.
The reason I'm not even piling on Odegaard, I would pile on Odegaard if he has played a lot this season. The guy this is his first game in like the last 8 or 9 games. He's not been playing. He's just come off an injury again. He played 2 or 3 games, got injured. He's out for another 6 weeks. He just played this. This is his first game, 65 minutes. So again, I can pile on him as a captain, maybe as leadership. The Kepa thing is not a scapegoating thing. I'm saying, if you compare the confidence that the back line has when Kepa is in goal or Raya is in goal, it's different. When Donnarumma is in goal, as compared to maybe your third string goalkeeper, your back line will feel a lot safer, right? That's just
third string.
because your second string goalkeeper is great.
Like in the final, innit?
I think Trafford is a good goalkeeper. That's why I'm not using Trafford as an example. I think your backline will still be confident if Trafford is in goal. I'm saying let's assume you had injuries to those two goalkeepers and you put your third string goalkeeper, for example. I don't know who that is that you guys have.
Yeah, but Kepa's not a third stringer.
No, but I'm not saying he's a third stringer. I'm saying the level of confidence your backline has in your goalkeepers is also a key thing, right? So for me, I don't think Kepa instills the level of confidence that the backline, that Raya instills for our backline. I think they feel like there's still some iffy stuff with him, which is fair enough because we've seen it. The goal against that he wanted to catch, like claiming the corner, and even in this game, there was a shot that was played, a cross that was played in. The way he palmed the ball, it was a weak hand. It could have fallen right in front of a Southampton player again. Luckily, it fell to an Arsenal defender. So I'm not piling on him. You asked me about players, and I'm pointing out everything each player did that was a mistake. Odegaard, like I said, I don't think he played great, but he did what Odegaard does. He had a couple of shots on target. He created 3 chances that were not converted. But as a player, I think the one person who I'm going to say again played great is Max Darman. And that's it. Max Darman is the only player that I think showed up and showed out for Arsenal against Southampton. Everybody else was poor. Everybody else. But that for me, again, does not shake what I think about the Premier League because these guys are not the guys playing in the Premier League. They're not the first 11. Kepa is not going to. Yeah.
So your first 11's playing in Champions League and Prem moving forward.
That's what they've been doing. But that's what we've done all season. Our first 11. Listen, the only time we changed about 6 or 7 players in the Champions League was against Inter Milan, and that was a one-time thing that they did. After that, it was our first, and then in the last game of the Champions League, where we allowed Kepa to keep. In fact, let me say this to you: in the Champions League, right, where we scored 20 goals and conceded 3 goals, those 3 goals were considered by Kepa in the final Champions League game.
I don't mean to stop. I don't mean to stop you in mid-flow, but could you please, for the purpose of the chat, identify who decided to make Kepa your number 2?
I agree. I agree to all that. I'm not going to go back and rehash. And yes,
but I think it's very pertinent to. I think it's pertinent to understand why Kepa is in there. Why is Kepa in there?
You have to understand the question that was asked. You were not here. He asked me about. Hold on. Don't just come in. Jump in.
I was listening a little bit.
And be like, who chose?
I'm hearing a lot of explanation. Do you remember you said a few weeks ago about when you lose, you explain a lot? I feel like you may have fallen into that trap that you so eloquently described.
He asked me a question. I'm responding to the question. You jump in half. You have no idea what the question is, but then you want to then pile on and say, "You seem like you're explaining."
I don't think I can. You lost to Southampton.
No.
In a cup game.
Listen. If you step into the room, you're late first and foremost. You need to apologize.
I apologize.
You did apologize.
That's number one.
I apologize.
When you come in, ask what was the question and why. So now, do you know what the question is, Jay?
Okay. No, I don't.
Okay, good. Since you don't know what the question is, I would suggest that you take several seats, relax, right?
Very boisterous for a man who just exited the FA Cup. I thought the FA Cup was your trophy.
And let me respond. Let me
respond
to the question that
you're absolutely right.
Asked me. So Vator, again, all of these players, none of them did well. Like I said, Max Darman for me is the only person that was on that pitch that looked like he wanted it.
Yeah, but my question was, is your 11 going to be playing to close out the remaining season? Are you going to expect them to play Prem, Champions League, Prem, Champions League, Prem,
I expect them to play Prem and Champions League. Again, remember the Champions League up until the final is a 2-legged thing. So you can always at least rotate to a certain extent, maybe 2-3 players and not 7. Right. So my thing is, even though I'm expecting you to play Prem and Champions League, even if I'm going to rotate in those competitions, I can rotate 2 or 3 players.
But if I'm to believe your injury list, if I'm to believe it, then you're probably gonna have to lean on these players that just played.
Before you go, Veta, I was watching Oppenheimer the other day, and it's ironic because you used to send the kids to war. Do you know what I mean? I hear Veta hearing Max Darman should be going to the cinema with his girlfriend.
How's that your opening line?
You are sending. Max Darman is this. Why are we?
I'm not going to get my water bottle.
We have several internationals. We have Ben White The guy that said, I don't want to play for England, but I'm going to play for England now. I feel like it, even though he's in his worst physical state. We'll talk about that another time. But we got Ben White dropping class. That's an England international. That is a team full of internationals. And we're referencing the 16-year-olds.
I questioned Ben White. I mentioned everything Ben White did.
We've evolved from the question that you were asked now.
No, because you weren't here. You were not here. I mentioned every single player.
It's fine. But Jay's giving his point.
No. Jay, what Jay is saying is that I haven't crashed on those players. Jay, every single player talking about.
I didn't say that.
No. Before you came in,
I want to crash it on the players. Why must you do the humble? My players were crap. Nah, get out of the way, son.
I talked about what they did. Hold on. I talked about how Ben White was so bad. He was pulling players. And you could see it in his face that he was flustered. I mentioned those words. Like Ben White,
that's fine. But Jay wants to give his take on it.
That's what I'm saying. I want to mention those words too.
Okay, go on. Then crash on them. I've crashed on them. I don't know what else you want to hear.
I don't listen. I understand where you're coming from, but the thing is, Dio, you're a smart man, and you understand that the things that we say do not exist in isolation. Everything hangs together. So opinions that we make a month ago, they're still relevant to the conversation, even though you didn't say it yesterday. Now, continuing with that train of thought, there's several players in this Arsenal side who are top internationals. There's a number of these players who have been demanding extra minutes. I look at this game and I say, okay, are you just a Declan Wright merchant team? Because you still had Gabriel playing. We had Mosquera, who you were raving about.
His decision making was shocking.
Yeah, and Mosquera played in this game and you lost. Now, I'm not expecting you to do revisionism on the opinion you shared because it was a fair opinion based on the evidence. However, we cannot just turn around and be like, oh, Saliba wasn't playing, to then justify a player that you've praised playing Champions League, contributing heavily to you being top of the league, and then you play this performance now and we complain about the absent players because a number of these players have been praised. I'm just saying. I'm being quite soft here. I'm not saying you're making excuses because there is no excuse for this result. There's no excuse because the thing about cup games is this ain't like a league game. Yeah, we don't get to evaluate what went wrong and then go about fixing it. You're out.
But that's what I said.
You're out of the cup. So to me,
I said these players that have been crying for minutes, these players that have been asking the manager, knocking his door, saying, "Hey, we're part of the squad. We need to play. Now you're given an opportunity. Exactly. And you don't take it. So when you don't take it, this is on you. You don't get to play for the rest of the season, Miles Lewis Skelly, because you didn't take your opportunity now. You don't get another game because you're out of the tournament that you would have played in. You don't get to play again, Kepa, because you're out of the tournament. Gabriel, you don't get to play. Benny Blanco, too bad. You might come in for 10 minutes in a Premier League game or 5 minutes or something just to cover for Timber so he can rest for the next game. Like this is what I'm saying. For me, it's annoying that you had an opportunity. And that's why when I mentioned that only a 16-year-old showed me that he wanted to play. He wanted to play.
But Dio, hold on. Before you go, Dio, you're a smart man. So I expect you to use the appropriate language for said situation. So let me ask you this. Going out, losing the League Cup final and going out of the FA Cup within 2 weeks of each other, I would classify that as a disaster. Would you?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that in the cup competition.
Can you say that out? No, can you say the whole sentence out together, please?
Can I finish saying what I'm saying? It's a disaster that we've crashed out of the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup 2 weeks back to back. That's 2 losses back to back. That's not a good look. It is terrible for the team. But the reason it doesn't bother me as regards to the rest of the tournaments that we're in is the players who crashed out of this tournament and the manager who decided that they should play, because I'm of the opinion, this is Dio's personal opinion, when you are in the quarterfinals, semifinals of any tournament, play your best team. I don't care. Yeah. Like, that's me. Like, if I was a manager, that's what I would do. I'd play my strongest, best team, go in, get in there, get the job done, get out of there. Because again, that's how you get to the final of that game. I understand squad depth. I understand. Let me explain something really quick before you go. Yeah, I'm going to leave you with this kind of bombshell, and it might sound rich coming from a Tottenham fan, and I appreciate that. But I ask you all to indulge me for a second while I try and finish the point. The thing about when you don't win trophies is you forget what it feels like to win trophies. And as such, when you lose games like this, you downplay
the impact
Great point.
of
Great point.
losing the game, because you've forgotten what it feels like to lift the trophy. You might think you remember, but if you do remember, losing to Southampton is so wholly unacceptable. It's outrageous, especially off the back of losing the final. So you've lost 50% of the competitions you can win in 2 weeks. To me, the only way that that's not an absolute unmitigated disaster, and you use that language as a top team, is if you've forgotten what it feels like to win trophies and you don't appreciate how close you are. Like it's constantly like, and I said this when I was when with Pochettino, if you're thirsty, be willing to drink toilet water. Yeah, don't matter.
Jay, I think you're onto something, but I think they've forgotten what it means to be a big club, right? Because as a big club, you would pursue multiple trophies within a season. If you've labeled or if you've identified your club to be at a certain level, to be of a certain quality, you can't have these opportunities and crashing out and then again justifying it and being like, you know what, it's on to other things. The big clubs want to win the small trophies, quote unquote, as well as the league and the Champions League along the way. And I think this is where Dio and his fan base are getting back to trying to remember what big clubs do on the pursuit of the big trophies. And it's been a while. But again, I mentioned this to some Arsenal fans and they kind of took offense. Dio, you might disagree, but I think many Arsenal fans believe that the Invincibles are their best Prem team, right? Now, that Invincible team, we're only able to win one trophy, right? So as they pursue this, it's not quite like it's not really the DNA of the Arsenal to be winning multiple trophies within a season with regards to winning the Prem.
The Invincibles did get knocked out of 2 cups in 2 games too. So I've got that part similar.
Yeah.
So maybe DNA wise, it's pretty consistent that way. But
the season we went invincible, yeah, we won the Premier League and we got knocked out of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup as well back to back. Again, that didn't stop us from winning the Premier League that season. Here's my point, and I hear you that this whole DNA talk and all of that stuff. Arsenal has done a cup double before. We've done it in the past, so we've won multiple trophies as a club. You can say we don't remember because fans have not won a trophy in a long time. Fair enough. You can say maybe fans don't. But my thing is this: if I'm done crashing out on the people who have been given an opportunity to play in the FA Cup, this whole quad talk, treble talk, it's rivals and the media. At no point at the beginning of the season, hold on, did any Arsenal fan say, oh my God, the season that we're coming into, we're winning the quad? No Arsenal fans.
Not the beginning of the season.
Dio, you said you were winning the League Cup and the Prem. Let's not talk about what the media.
Why is Martin calling out Dio this much?
Bro, there's also fans on AFTV who are doing up quad. We're going for the quad.
Dio said he was winning the League Cup and the Prem.
I said what I wanted. I said what I wanted at the beginning of the season. Hossam.
What I wanted.
Hossam, our first episode, when you asked me, what are my expectations for Arsenal this season? What did I say? I said, go very far in the Champions League because you've gone quarterfinal, semi-final, and now this year you have to go further than that. Maybe make it to the final and not win, which is what I said. And I want the Premier League because I've gone second back-to-back 3 times. That was what I set for the team. Now, halfway into the season, the team puts itself in the position to be able to win multiple other trophies. And I was like, you know what? I will settle for a Carabao Cup and the Prem, even if I now don't go far in the Champions League.
How gracious of you.
No, I would settle for that because you put yourself in that position. That's a good place to be. That's all I'm saying. Like, you can't sit there and say, oh, I get the chance to win this. Again, you just said, but with your own words, Vator, that big clubs go for those trophies. So the minute I had an opportunity to go for it, I said I would like to win it. Is that not what a big club should be doing? So I'm agreeing.
You guaranteed the League Cup.
I'm guaranteed the Premier League Cup. I know.
The League Cup.
The League Cup. He did. But Dio talked with Chess to try to shut me up on a show, saying we're gonna be back on this show, Vader, and I'm gonna have the League Cup, and I'm gonna talk whatever craziness in front of your face when I do it, and then we're at where we're at.
What did I say about the League Cup when you and I were on the stream together?
You said you were gonna win it.
This is gaslighting.
You said you were going to win it, and then I was going to be here.
I'm responding to Mancunian. What did I say to you when you and I were on the stream together?
This is very gaslighting. Therapists say that if you ask somebody to recall something very specific when you're in a debate, you're really deflecting because
because I don't want people making shit up because
but Dial, you said you were winning the League Cup.
Yes, I said
yes, my words, my mouth, but it's not what I meant.
No, that's what I backed my team to win the League Cup and they didn't. So
I understand this angle. I didn't let myself down. My team let me down.
No,
I hear it.
I agree. Listen. The team did not win the League Cup. I wanted to win the League Cup, and I backed the team to win the League Cup because you, in your own words, told me big teams try to win the League Cup, and I said,
Dial, before I told you what big clubs do, because I brought up the big clubs talk today. Before I brought up the big club talk,
I'm saying back then I backed Arsenal to win the League Cup, and we did not win the League Cup. So what do you want me to say today?
Okay, but Dio, obviously we played.
Hold on.
You just played Southampton, though. You just played Southampton, so the points are fair, and you're entitled to rebut if you think that people are remembering incorrectly on stuff in the past. However, going into the game with Southampton, let's be honest. How many scenarios in your head could play out where you thought you would lose that game?
No, again, I thought I backed us to beat Southampton. So
can
I just send Martin the link?
Let's say you played that game 10 times.
I just send Martin the link here.
Let him link in because I got to drop. So he can be my spot.
Okay, Vater, if you want to say something, say it now, and then I will bring Martin in here.
All I'm going to say, and large up Martin to be able to be on the panel, it's going to be great for the show. Dial's doing the typical, please don't come off mute. He's doing the typical Arsenal. We are out of this cup run. It doesn't really matter at the beginning of the season. I said, okay, not that you never said that, but understand the sentiment, understand the meaning to what I'm saying. Every Arsenal fan, if you asked them or told them, if you got the Prem and you lost everything else, they'd be okay with it, right? So the fact that they've lost the League Cup, the fact that they lost the FA Cup, regardless of where they finish in the Champions League, all that they want is this Prem. So everything else is copium. So the fact that they lost to Southampton, however they lost, it doesn't matter because it's on to the big.
It's disgraceful how we lost Southampton. I said that. Like nobody's saying. I have not sat here and said, "Oh, you know what? The Champions League or the Premier League is a bigger fish to fry." I have never used those words here. I've simply crashed on my team.
You don't gotta use those words.
So listen, I've crashed on my team and called them disgraceful for how they performed against Southampton. But I'm saying that does not impact my perception of the Premier League because 7 players who have been banging on the door for minutes to play, were given that minutes to play, and they've effed up. And those 7 are not going to get the chance to be playing the Premier League for the rest of the 7 games we have. This will be my first trophy this season. On the way to winning the treble. So I'll see you Sunday. Yeah.
I'll send you now.
Wow!
No, wait. Run it back.
Yeah, Martin and I were back.
He said on my way to winning the treble.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, you have to
play it again.
Sam, play the whole video when we're talking about.
Oh, brother, that doesn't need context.
It needs context. Okay, go on.
And then we're gonna get out of here, people.
Martin, you'll be crying on Monday. You'll be crying Sunday night.
We'll see.
I'll wave at you from Wembley.
This will be my first trophy this season. On the way to winning the treble. So I'll see you Sunday. Yeah.
I don't need context.
I'll send you a nice photo from that.
There's no context.
Yeah,
we're gonna sit here and watch 2 hours worth of footage.
No.
Martin, if you want the link, you fraud message me.
I didn't say play the whole 2 hours. I'm saying play the part where Martin and I were talking about can you win the treble, and I was like, yeah, we're in the position to win the treble. And if this is the first trophy,
you just said you.
Listen, I'm saying that there was a conversation before I made that because the clip that you're playing is when we were signing out. When Martin said you'll be crying, and I said yes, I'll be winning my first trophy. That's all that. Yeah, I said that.
I'll be honest. If the prosecution had this level of evidence, you would be.
I'll send you the link.
You would get convicted. This is more than circumstantial. This is like.
I'm in for Dio if you want to bring that timestamp.
Yeah, I hear it. I'm holding the murder weapon.
Yeah, because we literally. No. Again, I'm not backing down from what I said.
You are a little bit. You are a little bit.
How am I backing down when I'm saying
because you didn't win the treble? You said there's context to you saying that we were going to win the treble.
Later said he's gone, right?
Again, Again, I said this. I said to him, if we win, this was before I signed out.
I didn't hear the if.
Yeah.
Are you insinuating that you got baited? Did you get baited?
I didn't get baited. I didn't get baited. I believe
so you believed it with your whole chest?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so you believed it with your whole chest. You were winning the treble.
Listen, I believed it, and that's why I said this team let me down against
Southampton. So you believed it. You said it. You didn't happen. I'm not sure what context we need on that. I feel like it's a pretty. It's an open and shut case, Dio.
It's an open and shut.
Opening the shut case, Johnson.
It's an open and shut case, bro. Like he
literally just typed in the word like winning into the transcript.
I don't understand what other context there is.
I haven't said it's not an open and shut case. I'm responding to all the questions you're asking.
Oh, okay. So this is for mitigation on the sentence.
Hang on. Whoa.
It's your fault, man.
Good evening. So listen, I'll address it now because it was me having the conversation. It was me having the conversation. Dio,
Your Honor, we have an eyewitness.
Yeah, this is crazy.
You were giving it the big un. Oh, show to me. You're gonna win it. Deepest, best squad in the world. League Cup on your way to a treble, etc., etc. I told you were gonna fail. You failed miserably. You got your asses slapped like a kid in kindergarten. You got a little slapping, right? Then you go to Southampton with your deepest, baddest squad in the world. And you got your asses slapped there as well. Because you keep getting told, and this isn't just at you, Dio, you keep getting told, stop doing this backtracking of the League Cup's a little trophy. The FA Cup, we've won it 14 times. No, hang on a minute, Dio. You've spat your lies and your deceit for too long.
Lies and deceit.
You are backtracking like a dumper truck.
I am not backtracking. I've simply said I backed my team to go ahead and win, and they did not win, and I crashed on them. Simple. What else you want me to?
You're on your way to a treble. Listen, Sunshine, out of everyone here, I'm the only one who can actually do a treble.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And are you doing it?
You know what I mean?
Are you going to do it?
No, I don't think we will. But I'll tell you what we'll win. We'll probably win the set. Listen, I think we'll win more trophies than you will this year for a dead team and a dead manager, Sunshine, because I'll walk away with 2 trophies. You'll walk away with 1. Because if you think you're going up against Barcelona or Bayern Munich and giving it the larger, and you're going to get your baby asses slapped in that one as well.
You're the one who's bringing up the Barcelona and the Bayern Munichs again right now.
Yeah, well,
I have again. You're going to address me by the things that I say. I have never said it.
Yeah, exactly, mate. You said on your way to a treble. You can't do a treble. You're not even going to do a double.
We can't do a treble anymore. Fair enough.
You're not going to do a double.
And I haven't said we're going to do a double. Have I said that now? After we're not able to.
I swear, Dio, you better not allow us. You better not allow us to win this league. Because if we win this league, you better go on a hiatus for 6 months. You better go on a desert island.
Win the league.
Get on a desert island.
I just want to address this slippery eel that is Dio. Because Dio said that he was going to do a treble. He said he was going to do a treble. And so then he said, did I say we were going to do a double? No, because he said you were going to do a treble.
No, you said you were going to do a treble.
Listen, again, Jay, it's almost like there's enough wax in your ear to not hear anything anybody says.
Oh.
What did I respond to?
Dio, are you a politician? Dio, you sound like a politician.
Martin, what did I respond to you just now? You said you didn't do the treble, and I said I agree. We're not doing the treble anymore. We failed at doing the treble, and I've admitted that. Then you go, are you going to do a double? I said I'm not even talking about a double anymore. The fact that I could not do a treble doesn't give me enough confidence that we can actually go.
So what are you going to do?
Why are you now making it sound like because I said
because Dio, not just you, and by the way, you also said this. No Arsenal fan has ever said we'll do a treble. Well, on tomorrow's show with Sam, I will bring you clip after clip after clip, and many Arsenal fans saying treble.
We're not on tomorrow, by the way.
Martin,
oh, bloody hell!
I'm gonna reschedule, bro. Let me cook.
Martin, what I said, and I hope you heard me clearly when I said that. I said at the beginning of the season, no Arsenal fan at the beginning of the season said, "Oh, Arsenal is set up to win a treble or a double or." I said when the season went on and we got to a point where we were in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, we're in the semi-final of this thing.
Quad,
This was not
The
at the
quad,
beginning of the season. This was not at the beginning of the season.
The point wasn't the beginning of the season. The point was your fans eventually were talking about a quad.
Lewis, that was not what I said. I was talking about the statement that I made as regards to Arsenal fans. I said that
I'm not talking about you individually. I'm talking about Arsenal
I'm
fans.
addressing Martin where he said, Dio said, no Arsenal fan. But Martin said, I said, no Arsenal fan said treble or quad. And I mentioned that, and I said at the beginning of the season, nobody said that. When we were in a position to win it, certain fans obviously will say whatever they want to say. But even when we're in a position to win it, I wasn't even talking quad. I was even saying the treble because I felt like Carabao Cup, FA Cup, we had easier runs. We should be able to go on and win that. And then we can talk about the Premier League. So again, at the beginning of the season, nobody said that. Again, you can talk about
beginning of the season, no one said it.
Yeah, you can exactly. So if you
no one's going to say that. At the
I don't
beginning
think
of the
anyone
season.
disputed that.
No one's ever said you didn't say it in August.
Oh no,
but you've been telling it. No, Dio, not just you, by the way. This is just
Ooh, 1 second, Martin. 1 second. Dio, take the L today. We have dozens of clips on Martin. Sit back today. We'll help you out in a few weeks. What have you said, Martin? What have you said online?
Because I said we'd win the league back in August.
He's correct.
Okay.
He's correct.
So so why are you being dramatic then? You said 1 second. He said he'll win the League Cup. He didn't. You said you'll win the league and you've given up.
Hold on, please. Sorry.
No. Let me explain, Sam. Let me explain. My issue is I've never said. Dio, let me explain.
If you want, this is not about you, Martin. Please hold on. There's a comments that I want to. I normally don't respond to comments when you guys make comments. Yes, I'm Nigerian, but do not bring my whole country of 220 million people. Wonderful.
Yani, wallahi, you know, Tyler timed you out yesterday.
Do not.
Yeah, let's not do that. But let's not do that. That's out of order.
My bad, Martin.
Hold that.
No, that's fine. No, Dio, I completely agree. That has to be addressed because that's bang
Hold
out
that
order.
ban, buddy.
Listen, Marco, I know you love doing this, but you can ask us up. I said we'd win the league because of Pep and only Pep. I've never said my squad was as deep as Arsenal's. I've never said my squad was amazing. Those words have never come out of my mouth. My whole point was we'd win the league because of Pep Guardiola.
Okay, we'll wait then.
That is all I ever said.
We'll wait.
Now,
we'll wait, Martin. We'll wait till the end.
The thing, Dale, I was on here 3 weeks ago, congratulating Arsenal after the West Ham. I wasn't expecting your asses to suddenly start falling out all over the gaff.
You really surprised by that, Martin?
Again, see.
Well, I actually thought mentality-wise to get through it this year. I am a bit surprised. Yeah,
Arsenal and mentality.
Look, because I keep getting told it's the best. I got told it was the best squad in the world. We'd even gone past world class. We'd gone to alien territory for naming players of how good they were.
Again, the Invincibles lost in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. So I'm not expecting Arsenal.
So I've got to go back to 2003.
No, you don't have to.
What is this, Jurassic Park?
What I'm saying is simply, yes, the team has failed back to back. They've lost 2 games back to back. That, for me as an Arsenal fan, very disappointing. It changes the momentum of how the team should be carrying on. Because if you win, you have momentum, right? But what it does do for me, right, is change my mentality about the Premier League because of this one factor. We said we have squad depth, and we have seen now that the people who should be winning the FA Cup in our squad depth did not do their job. But at least my first 11 have done their job so far in the Premier League that we're 9 points ahead with 7 more games to go, and all we need to do is win 4 more games. 4 games, draw 1, league done.
Didn't you also say to be a guard of honor at the Etihad?
Yeah, I said that of course, I said that to piss you off, right?
Oh, you just said that as a bit of banter. I like that one. Bit of banter.
Of course, because we're going back and forth, and I told Vader, I said, if you keep on drawing games again, if you had lost a couple more games, like you drew to you drew those 2 games back to back, if you had lost 1 more game, mathematically there would have been a guard of honor at the Etihad.
Okay, then Dale, let me ask you a question because I do think the title's not in our hands; it's in yours.
It's in my hands.
If City get within 3 points of you, you're going to get nervous.
No, me personally, no. If you're talking about the Arsenal fan base,
do you think Arsenal will? Right, take the fans out. Do you think the team will? Because it's quite clear under pressure at the minute, they're not handling it.
Well,
which
again,
is why everyone keeps saying about over the line, over the line, over the line.
Again, I think let me answer that. Do I think the team will? No, I don't think so. Because when I watch, listen, and I want you to hear this. When I watch interviews, I see like clips and videos, and I go into like what the players are saying themselves and how and where their mindset is. I don't think that they will collapse, even if you have 3 points, 3 points adrift of us. I don't think the players will collapse. Now, will the fan base collapse? Yes, will the fan base collapse? Most likely. Fan base, they're fickle. They're going to probably collapse. But me personally, this is how I look at the rest of the league. And I know when I say this now, people are going to be like, oh, mathematics and all that. City can only get 85 points this season from now to the end of the season. Maximum of 85, maximum, which means they have to win the rest of their 8 games, 3 points, 24 plus 61. If City draw any game, it goes down to 83 points. If City draw 2 games, it goes down to 81 points. Arsenal is at 70 points right now. If we win 2 more games or 3 games, 79. Once you're down to 81, 79 period, all it takes is 1 draw or 2 from Arsenal.
But I think you're going to lose one. I think we'll beat you at the Etihad.
I'm not saying we won't lose. I'm saying we'll drop points, but you also will drop.
No, you're going to lose at the Etihad. So that's a 6-point swing.
Again,
so you can do the 85, whatever you want. There's a 6-point swing.
My point is, I don't care about the swing. What I'm saying is, we're going to drop points. You're going to drop. No. Again, I'm going to.
I'm not sure we will drop points anymore, Dio, because the one thing I saw on Saturday, on Saturday, for the last 2 games, we seem to have got our act in right. We know the 11 we're going with, and we're performing. Man City are now doing exactly what we've done. I've told you this on numerous occasions. I've said City turn up in the last 8, 9, 10 games of the season. We always do. We always have.
The league is done
for 5 years.
We'll pull out the clips at the end of the season.
Our Arsenal favourites. Arsenal for me have probably won the league, because for me, I don't want to talk about a league full there, because you need to drop points, not just at City, in other games.
And
I think City will win. I think City will beat Chelsea on Sunday. Sorry, Lewis, I just think we will. I think we're playing.
Oh, don't worry. We'll beat ourselves first. I've accepted it.
Asking me about a Bournemouth away, something like that, I don't know. Because personally, I think we've got a nice run in. Burnley away, I think they'll be down. We've got Palace at home, they'll have now to play for. And we've got Brentford at home, they're virtually now to play for.
I think City will beat Chelsea as well, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think we are in agreement.
Again, my point is, over the next 8 games that City has, City will drop points somewhere. Where they drop points, I don't know, right? Arsenal will drop points as well. But the cushion that we have is good enough for us between now and the end of the season, even though there's 1 game in hand for you guys, which is a 6 points cushion.
Yeah, but you play us as well.
I agree.
So you can't keep saying the cushion.
Listen. I play you, I agree. But you will still drop points, and I will still drop points. But that means I still have a cushion regardless, whether I play you or not. Because if I play you and I look at that game as a 6-point gap, okay, playing you is a 6-point gap right now because it's 9 points. So when I play you, it's 6 points. Let's say you win. Let's agree that you win. I have a 6-point gap, and I have how many more games? 6 more games to play. But
we've got a game in hand.
I know I have 5 more games to play. Your game in hand, even if you win it, if I win the rest of my games, you'll be 3 points behind me, whatever the case is. Whatever the case is, if I win the rest of my games after I lose to you, and you win all your games after you beat me.
I agree.
That's my point. My point is, it can swing.
No, but you don't have to lose. All you have to do is draw 2 games somewhere.
And all you have to do is draw 1 more game somewhere in between the games.
That's where I'm not sure we do. I can see us winning all our games.
You think you go on a run?
That's all it is.
We've got to continue playing the way we're doing. Yeah. On Saturday, I was shocked. Saturday was the best performance of the whole season. We absolutely were rocking from the get-go. For some reason, it may be, I don't know whether it's the cushion off factor going at the back. I don't know whether it's we just seem to have clicked.
Thank you very much.
No. Don't worry. You'll get your cooking when it comes. Don't you?
We'll talk about Arsenal.
You're getting yours.
You're going to get yours. Later will come back, innit? Later will come back. You got to respect later like that. Look at Fonzie. It's Peppa's fault. Dio can't keep his story straight. Dio, just take the L, bro. It's not that deep.
Oh no, it's not kept. Again, my. You know what? I wish people would listen to understand and not just to banter. I'm not saying Kepa was at fault. I'm saying there's certain goalkeepers that you have. For example, your number one goalkeepers instills a certain level of confidence, right, in your backline and the players. Players are probably more comfortable with Raya in goal because they know him and they know what he can do. I still back Kepa, but I'm saying Kepa doesn't instill that same level of confidence in the players. So you definitely know you're not fielding the same exact team, is what I'm saying. If you're fielding Donnarumma, for example, and you're fielding another goalkeeper, there's a difference in how you feel when you see Donnarumma and how you feel when you see another goalkeeper in the post because of the kind of level of what Donnarumma is at. That's all I'm saying.
Not at the moment for us, Dio. There's not a lot of City fans saying there's not a big difference between Donnarumma and Trafford at the minute.
Again, I'm not being pedantic. I'm just saying that you know that there's levels, right? Regardless of how close or how far. The point is, like when you look at your team list, right, and you see, oh, you know what? Hey, I have Gabriel and Saliba in the back. You're like, okay, I'm confident. If you see, oh, you know what? I've got enough injuries and I'm playing Ben White center back. You're like, okay, Ben is good, but I've seen a lot of gas he's done. So now your confidence level is not on the same level when you see Saliba and Gabriel. It drops a bit.
But is that really necessary for a game like this? Like I
it's
hear
not.
what you say.
It's not necessary. That's my point. That's why I'm disappointed in them. Like it's not necessary for us to have the first.
I mean, you've laid it on quite thick for the point, considering the point isn't really relevant.
I'm responding to the super chat though. He's saying it's Kepa's fault.
So how come Southampton weren't doing all this? Because what a lot of Arsenal fans have failed to mention is Southampton rested 4 or 5 players.
They rested players, and that's why I'm way more disappointed, Martin. Which is why I crashed on the players. Which is why I crashed on Ben White. Which is why
doesn't sound like crash. I mean, I missed the.
You weren't here. You went here when I dissed.
I apologize.
Yeah, you went here when I dissed every single one on Gabriel Jesus. I said it's 65 minutes, not a shot on target. Like, what are you doing? Are you supposed to be a striker? Like, I crashed on every single one. The only person I refuse to crash on is Max Dalman. And when I said that, you all started laughing, and I'm like, I don't know what's funny about me saying Dalman is the only player who showed me any oomph in that game. Every other
he's a baby. He's a baby. Like I said,
and then even the one. Listen, and then even the one. Listen. Even the one goal that we scored, the people that I gave praise to for that one goal, I said, outside Kai Havertz, who I didn't even expect to be part of that play, which I was still mad at the way we scored that goal because Kai Havertz is 2 yards from the goalkeeper and decides to cut back. I'm like, you're crazy. You're 2 yards from the goalkeeper.
Bad decision in shooting.
Right? Because again, if Gyökeres had not struck that ball correctly, and the defender deflected that ball, they would have won 1-0, maybe even 2-0. The fact that you're that close and you're cutting back, I was mad at that move. So my point is, I crashed on every single one of those players. It took Gyökeres coming on for us to equalize.
Yeah, but
on the pitch. Like, what are we doing?
I also feel like your platform. I respect to Southampton, but I do feel like you're giving them a lot of. This is Southampton we're talking about. They're a decent side.
I'm not talking. I'm just dissing my own players. I'm not going to say
unbeaten. They were unbeaten in 14. They haven't lost a game.
Unbeaten in 15 now.
15 now. Yeah, but I'm not trying to say that they're a bad side. I'm just merely looking at kind of like the levels that you expect of a game like this. Tricky game. You got to quiet. Arsenal. They didn't have Rice, and it's like
we don't need Rice. We don't need Rice.
You clearly do.
No. I'm saying under normal circumstances.
What do you mean? You can't lose to Southampton without Rice and then have chest to be like, we don't need Rice.
Jaden, what I mean by that is I'm saying under normal circumstances, right? I was glad to see the team sheet and see that Rice was not even making the bench. Saka, I was like, yeah, we have enough to actually go into this game and get something out of it because of the quality that you're supposed to have on the pitch. But then they've gone in there and they've shamefully and disgracefully performed. Every single one of them.
Dio, because I'm not jumped on for the full show. I wanted to say a bit to you. I've got a genuine
You have
question.
20 minutes left. Keep going.
I know. All right. Oh, you got 20. I'll get genuine question, Dio. Who has the deeper squad depth, City or Arsenal, in your opinion now?
Deeper squad depth. You're talking about what are we basing it on? Quality for quality.
Bench players on the pitch, and bench players right now.
Right now, I think with your. Are you saying injuries? Are you saying with injuries or
no? If we're going with what we got right now,
both squads fit. Both squads fit.
I think both are very. When you talk about like how much you have in squad depth, I think we have even squad depth as regards to both of us right now. if you're saying who's better, then you can then now let's compare the players, and I can say, well, this City player is better than this player in Arsenal squad depth, or this City player is better.
Yeah, I don't want to go through all 27
But
players.
if you're saying like squad depth, yeah, I think we're evenly matched when it comes to squad depth.
But you know what I would say. Oh man, it's difficult because I don't know if it's.
I think we're evenly matched. Squad depth.
But can you? It's difficult to. Isn't it how you? I think City have got the best squad now. Like
no,
after
Gahey
and Semenyo, I think City have got the better squad.
That's why I'm asking Jay. You're talking about the best squad. He's saying squad depth, like as regards to.
Yeah, I'm talking about taking both squads into.
I'm not doing individual. I'm talking right now because I think there's certain players at City who've stepped up. Who were like James Trafford has stepped up massively. Kushinoff has stepped up massively in the last few weeks. Semenyo, now we've moved him out to 10 and put him actually into his natural position as a winger, has stepped up. Mateus Nunes, who was laughed at by a lot of people. For me, Mateus Nunes is a shout for player of the season.
Nunes is a better right back than Ben White. He's not as good as Timber.
Yeah,
I'd take Nunes over Ben White, 100%.
So.
But
I mean, but I don't want to do paper. Football's not played on paper.
Nunes is starting, and you're comparing Nunes to our second string right back, which is Ben White. You're not comparing.
But that's squad depth. That's squad depth.
So you've got the better right back, but then City you've got another right back who's better than your backup right back.
Listen,
do you know what I mean? So
who's City starting right back?
Mateus Nunes.
And who do you have to compare him to in Arsenal? You have to compare him to Timber.
Yeah.
You can't compare him to Ben White. So now you have to compare City's second.
But Nunes is better going forward than Timber.
Yeah, but that's what I was about to say, Jed. They've got to be careful of. We don't play the same way. We play Nunes as a right wing back.
Yeah.
He's better, than you do as a natural right back.
Hey, Igal, you want the link as well? I'll send you the link. We'll run it.
There you go. What a trophy, mate.
Is Igal coming on with this alien squad? Is he coming on with the alien squad?
That's why I said leave Igal alone, please. Leave my brother alone. Leave my brother alone, you guys.
Igal, it's day 2074 since we last won a trophy, mate.
Dio, I may look like an elephant, but I've also got a memory like an elephant. I don't forget. I have receipts and I write them.
I'm not saying you don't have receipts. Keep your receipts, man. No problem. Bring them. I will take the smoke and the heat. I'm not one of those people. I'm ready for any smoke. And you know me, I'll collect it. As regards to comparing both teams, I think both squads are pretty much even. Like fairly for me, the way I look at it right now. And that's based on, and I'm saying this based on the fact that City players have stepped up and Arsenal players have not yet. And I don't think they will till the end of the season. I think the competition we have will just get us over the line, just enough for this season. Again, City players have had to step up for us to look at them squad wise as good as what I won't say or better than what Arsenal is right now. So if you understand,
right, Dial, do you know the biggest difference for me? And I've had this debate with Hussam for 3 years now, and he'll know what I mean. So I am going to bring this little bit into Liverpool. When I hear Arsenal fans say, no, it's a compliment, so just let me explain it. When I hear Arsenal fans say, bigger fish, not you, by the way, Dial, but bigger fish to fry, it's only the League Cup, it's only the FA Cup, I'm not that bothered by it. The one thing, if City don't win a league, we'll probably go and win 2 cups. The same way Liverpool, under Klopp, they didn't win a league, but they had the winning mentality of winning both domestic trophies still. So you kept that winning mentality going. And I'm not saying it's the fan base. I think it's an Arteta thing. Arteta's chasing all the big ones when you don't. It's a weird thing. It's like if you chase the golden pot at the end of the rainbow, you don't always get it. If you're just fully focused on that.
But Martin, you're right. You're right, and I agree with you. But I think the problem now is Arsenal has gone down that road too far for us to be satisfied with getting. Yes,
but that's what I'm saying. I think it's Arteta's fault.
Let me ask you this question, Martin. I know from your perspective, you probably say it's a successful season, but I'm going to ask a question to the panel. If Mikel Arteta won the Carabao, if in some world won the Carabao Cup, won the FA Cup, then bottled the league to City and bottled the Champions League, would we classify that as a successful season for Arsenal? As an Arsenal fan, I'd say no. I'll be happy about the cups, but I'd say it's not successful. You know why? You know why I would say it's not successful? Because for 3 years back to back, you've been second. You have to come first in that particular tournament first. Come first in the league. That's now the goal. Yeah, like that's the goal for me now. Like I feel like you've rolled down that road too much. We've gone down that rabbit hole chasing the big trophy so long that it's like now you have to make sure that that's the thing you get first. If you lose other things along the way, it's annoying, it's disgraceful, it's painful, because that could have just been like an extra, I won the Carabao, you know. But the goal is you've got to get over. We can't come second again 4 times in a row. I will lose my mind. I'll go to a psych home. I can't come second 4 times.
But if you do win the 2 trophies, though, we would look at it different. If you was to not win the Premier League and not win the Champions League, but win the 2 domestics, I'd look at it as
I'll tell you the difference, Dio. If Arteta doesn't win the league, I think his job's in jeopardy. If he'd have won the 2 trophies, I think that he gets more time.
Oh, no, I'm not saying about again.
He'll be safe.
That's a different conversation.
They'll still be making enough revenue.
See, Martin, that's a different conversation with the ownership, whether they keep him or not. My thing is,
I'm talking from a club point, not a fan point. I'm talking from a club point of view. There, Dio.
Like even from a club point of view, because of the ownership that we have, I know this ownership and the way they treat all their other franchises. These guys don't really get rid of people like that. They're not that type of ownership. Like their hockey team, they have the same manager for like 8 or 9 years. The same thing they did with their football team till they won.
True.
Like the ownership is one that just tends to stay with the manager till they win something. For some random reason, it's their modus operandi. I hate it, but it's what it is. That's the people that own me. I can't change that right now. But what I can change is, as a fan, what I expect of my team. I expect us now, after coming second 3 years back to back, to actually just win the Premier League. Losing the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup is disgraceful and painful to me. But if we had won those 2 and then we don't win the Premier League and we bottle the Champions League, I will call it an underachievement. I'll be happy with the
underachievement. Yeah, that's what it would be.
All right. Can I ask Hussam that question? Hussam, do you remember when you went on for the quad a couple of years back?
Yes.
You went on for the quad.
By the way,
you ended up just doing the league.
I was so certain. Like I was the one on YouTube, and people always say, "Oh, you work for Arsenal and all this." I said publicly, Arsenal are not winning the quadruple. I guaranteed it. Because the problem
and you said you're an Arsenal fan.
Okay, go ahead. Ask your question. Ask your question.
So what I mean is, did just obviously because this is where and maybe it's different for me. Was you because you were so close to that quad?
Yeah.
If you remember, did you win the league and it was a bit of a not a damp squid, but it was a bit of what could have been, or did you just enjoy the league? It was success no matter what.
They didn't win the league that season.
No, I'll be honest with you. The quadruple
charge
season.
Have I got the wrong year? No. Sorry, I might have the wrong.
That was the quadruple charge season was a disappointment in the end. Like because look, here's the thing. Like you go to a buffet and you end up eating appetizers and desserts. You don't end up eating any of the main meals. You end up getting disappointed. The problem is, like, I'll be honest with you, like, winning the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, great, but you still don't feel like you've had a successful season. Like, with all due respect, if Man United won the Carabao Cup and FA Cup this season, successful. Chelsea, successful. But when you come into a season, like, wanting to win the league, it's still like a failure, but a nice failure. You get what I'm saying? Like,
see, I'm different. I look at it as because we called it a transition.
I don't need to misinterpret me. I'm not saying
no.
You know, trophies don't matter, but like here's the thing. This is how I look at it. We don't have like that season. You didn't have Mo, Mane, Jota, RIP, Diaz, you know, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago Alcantara, all these guys to end up winning an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. Like you always want to win one of the 2 big ones.
That's where I'm different, Sam. I think because it's this year we've done that in a transition, because with respect, we've bought players, but we've not brought the ilk of what we had previous. No disrespect to the players we've bought, they're not at the level they once were. We're not buying the Riyad Mahrezes anymore and the etc. The Sterlings. With due respect to a Nico G or a Kushinov or whoever, you know yourself, Cherky, who has been fabulous, by the way, and I don't regret it now, but in the summer, we all wanted Wirtz. I'm not going to lie and do this City fan thing of I never wanted Wirtz. Every City fan wanted Wirtz. I'm not going to do this revisionism of, you know, we never wanted Wirtz. Of course we did. So, yes, that's what I'm saying. It's now next season, if we go and buy what we're meant to do, if we go and buy this so-called Anderson and Tonali, then it's different. Then we're buying the quality of players where we should then go on to win the league. That's why I said Pep was the X factor, not the squad. There's a total difference in that. So in January, they showed me that.
Okay, Martin, here's the thing. If you win the Carabao Cup and FA Cup and finish second this season, what would you rate your season out of 10?
8 out of 10. With the situation we're in.
Okay, if you won the league alone, what would you rate it?
This season, 10 out of 10 because I won and not with this squad.
Okay, here's my logic, right? I feel like if you win the league or the Champions League, it automatically becomes a 10 out of 10 season.
Yeah, I agree with that.
In any circle, like, by the way, Martin, even when you were expected to win the league 3 years from now, you winning the league still felt 10 out of 10. Like, you won the league, bro. Like, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, but people are saying 500 million. We spent 35 million on Victor Hayes and at Girona.
Okay, I'll use Flawless's club as an example. If they keep Carrick and next season they win the FA Cup and finish 3rd or 4th or whatever, you can say successful season, good season. We did what we're supposed to do. We kept our place in the Champions League. We did well. But if you go into the season with a mindset of like you're gonna challenge for the league, like it's a different mindset. And Flawless himself knows it. Like the way Flawless feels 5 years ago is not the way that he felt 15 years ago. In 2010, if we were doing this live right now in 2010 and I went like, Flawless, would you take the FA Cup alone? He'd probably say, no, I want to win the league. I want to win the Champions League.
And by the way, you know, because I hear this all the time, you spent $500 million. There's a difference between like, and again, this is no dig. When Liverpool spent $500 million in the summer, as everyone was talking about, they were spending it on what we all said, top quality players. Your Frimpong, your Kirkezes, your Berts, your Isaacs, etc. With due respect, and this is no dig, they're great now, but at the time we didn't know. We were buying a Victor Hayes, an Echeverri, a James Trafford. We were buying a Kushinov, who not many people had heard of from Lons. Nico G, who was the backup to Rodri. We weren't buying him on first team teamers. We weren't going out getting ready-made players.
No, you weren't. But the key thing for you was Pep Guardiola. You said it yourself that Pep.
Exactly. That's what I thought. Yeah, exactly.
Pep Guardiola is a great equalizer here. Other teams have to buy top players, right? Because Pep is the manager at City. Pep, we've seen him take players who Rodri's first season, Rodri wasn't great, but under Pep, we've seen what Rodri has become a Ballon d'Or winner. You know, KDB comes in, you see what Pep did with him. So again, we know that Pep is a great equalizer here. Kusanov, that nobody knew anything about. Today, I would say one of the fastest center backs I've ever seen in recent times. I saw him, and I'm like, this guy should be running track. That's what I said when I saw him play. I was just like, this guy should be running track. I don't know what you're doing on the pitch. So here's my thing. Pep being the great equalizer, other teams buy certain type of players because those managers are not special like Pep. We have to give Pep his due respect, and that's done. We've agreed on that point, right? So Liverpool going to get
checkbook manager according to Assad.
Dio, he messaged me and he said he wanted to apologize to you. So
no. See, look, my apology accepted. I just didn't like the fact that you're bringing in a whole nation of 220 million people with multiple different. Don't take what I do to judge my entire country. Judge me, curse me out, say whatever you want about Dio. I'm here for it, but leave my people out of it. So I beg you, because they'll come for you. They'll come for you. Yeah. Appreciate you.
Big up for the apology, Haytham, man. Appreciate it, baby. Big up. Look, the thing is, like, the only thing that I just didn't like with the Arsenal conversation is the scapegoating. That's it. Because I call it out in every fan base, including my own and others. Like, for me, I just don't think the reason why Arsenal lost was Kepa. I don't think the reason why Arsenal lost was the backup players just not being good enough. You have to hold these players accountable. Like, by the way, like as an example, some people were like, Kai Havertz this, Kai Havertz that. Habibi, Kai Havertz got the assist for the goal.
I agree. See, Hossam, I agree.
I hate that so much. You know, 1 second, you know why I hate that so much? It's because I feel like we just have natural scapegoats and we just want to point them out every single game. And it just gets to the level where, like, bro, I watched Kai Havertz at Wembley when you lost to City. And I was like, I think Kai Havertz should have stayed on the pitch. You lost your connector between defense and attack, and he took him off. And we're just sat here, because Kai Havertz is an easy person to
No,
You know, Kai Havertz is an easy person to criticize if you'd like, but it's not. As an example, it's not sexy to criticize Odegaard. It's not like, oh, he's the Arsenal captain, blah, blah. But Odegaard, bro, twice. Martinelli, yeah, another player. Let's all criticize Martinelli. He put Odegaard through on goal, and Odegaard shot it like a 3-year-old.
Hossam, hold on. Every Arsenal fan from the beginning of the season, even halfway through the season, have been calling for Declan Rice to become the captain. So let's not do this that we don't criticize Martin Odegaard. Odegaard, literally, there's Arsenal fans right now on Twitter. You go on Twitter and Google it, asking that Odegaard be sold in the summer. So yes, Arsenal fans are criticizing Martin Odegaard. Let's not play that game here. Odegaard is one of the most criticized players right now by Arsenal fan base and Arsenal fans. Currently, they call him all kinds of names.
Actually, calling out the manager,
hold on.
Castro.
I think that's Sam. That's the 2026 football thing at the minute. Every fan base, are scapegoating players.
What I wanted to address,
we do it.
Hold on, but listen.
Also, I said Salah is washed.
Yeah, but Hossam, here's what I wanted to address. The Kai Havertz.
Like Morata, bro.
Listen, the Kai Havertz thing, right, Hossam? I'm not scapegoating Kai Havertz for his performance per se. I'm more pissed, right, at the fact that you worked the ball up until 2 yards in front of the goalkeeper. Martin, I'm talking football now. And all you needed to do are you out of confidence? Just place the ball in the corner. Why are you doing it? Yeah, like why are you doing a
Sorry, I was laughing at Sam putting his Champions Leagues up on the screen.
Why are you doing the whole cutback? What if Gyökeres did not? Because of the defender there. If Gyökeres didn't strike that ball correctly or hit the defender, it would have gone out to a corner kick. And guess what? Boom, done. We would have lost 2-0. The point is, I felt like I'm blaming the players for certain choices they made in the game. Like, dude, come on, man. You're already 4 yards away from goal and you're passing backwards.
So does Arteta not play? Does he go with his just main 11 now for the next 7 games and don't really rely on these?
No. I mean, we've again all season we've relied on them as subs. They've come in this game. We changed 7 players. We're not going to change 7 players for the main league. So I expect him to play the strongest 11. And of course, if you need to rest Timber because there's a game on Tuesday, 15 minutes more, bring in Ben White. He'll play 15 minutes. If you need to rest Saka, bring in Noni, that type of thing. Like, of course, I expect that. But I don't expect a big change of 5 major players or 6. Zubimendi will play. Rice will play. If Eze is back fit, Eze will play. Otherwise, we saw Dalman, in the 10. I think he looks good, but I don't think we should put any pressure on that kid. Still play your captain. Hopefully, hopefully, because again, when you're back from injury, there's going to be rotation, but it's not going to be 7, 8 players, is what I'm saying. And I know a lot of people are going to say to me, oh, you're blaming Havertz for, I'm not blaming him for that. Thank God we scored that goal. My point is, this whole you're close to goal and you're passing backwards, I don't understand it. Like, when you're that close to the goal, take some shots, please.
I'm going to be, no, that's a Pep thing. He's learned that off Pep.
Yeah, and again, if he learned that,
that's a Pep thing.
I know, but it's annoying to see. Like, for me, it irks me. I'm like, you're 5 yards away. Like, you're looking at the goalpost and what I think.
He's a pupil of Pep. That's what pupils of Peps do. They want to walk the ball in the net. They don't shoot.
So every single one of those players, like I said, for me, it's not about scapegoating. It's just about the fact that they didn't take the opportunities. And if you don't take your opportunities when you've been begging for time to play, the Lewis Kellys, again, everybody outside my 16-year-old,
like Skelly didn't take the opportunity as an example. That I agree with.
Yeah, there's players in there that I'm just like, listen.
Ben White, another one, by the way.
Ben White, I think his confidence was.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we can't just keep here and saying the same stuff, people blaming the same people every game, bro. You can't be that's a Chelsea thing. Let them do that. Oh, Garnacho's shit. Okay, we all know.
But here's what I did when I came in here.
How about you, bro? Everything's Slot's fault, dickhead.
That's not scapegoating, mate.
Yeah, bro. Everything's Slot's fault. But when
learn the meaning.
You've become everything you hated.
Habibi, we bought 450 million worth of world-class
now
talent.
You're all slot, you fraud.
Yeah, Hossam,
I'll explain in the Liverpool section.
Hossam, I mentioned every player from our goalkeeper all the way to our attack, except for Max Naumann.
Habibi, I'm not talking about.
No, I'm just saying generally. I'm saying generally, like when people say, "Oh, we're blaming the same people," no, it's like you call each person out for what they did. Calafiori came in and looked like crap. He just looked honestly to me like, what are you? And I think people like Calafiori and Ben White from the international break, I think their confidence was shot. I think that they went out there, they did what they did. Italy did not qualify. You're coming back feeling a certain way. I saw a video of Calafiori where someone was asking him to sign the Premier League trophy, and he says, "I'm superstitious. I don't do that." This is before he came back from the international break. Until we win it, I don't want to say sign, like put my autograph and think that we won it. And I'm like, bro, brave up and be like, this is it. We're winning this thing. Like, what are we doing? This is the mentality I want to see. Somebody asks you to sign it, sign it. I'm winning. So that means you come back knowing that whenever you get in the game, that game has to be won. That's the mentality that I want. So again.
Okay, let's move on to Liverpool. I don't know where Vater is. Vater, if you're here, let me know, brother. It was Kepa's aura that told Havertz to pass Dio. Is what Fonzie's saying.
I don't understand what Fonzie's on today. Whatever.
Fonzie's being sarcastic towards the Arsenal fans that scapegoated Kepa. That's what he's saying.
No, again,
he's agreeing with you that Kepa shouldn't be scapegoated.
All of them should be whooped. Everybody who was on that pitch, except Max Dallman. Every other player and everybody who
I agree, because he's 16-year-old, of course.
And the only people who came on board and
actually not just because he's 16-year-old, because he's also your most dangerous player in the pitch.
Hossam, let me tell you why what makes it even more livid for me, right? Is it took Gyökeres, one of the first team players coming on. It took Gabriel Magalhaes making a line-breaking pass. When you have midfielders, when Miles Lewis-Skelly is on the pitch and he wants to play, and he's not able to make those type of passes. It took Gabriel Magalhaes to Kai Havertz, who was also a former senior player, to find Gyökeres to be able to equalize. Like every other player that was given an opportunity, for Pete's sake, just do something with this chance.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Big up to you, Fonzie, and big up to you, Marco. Big up to everyone locked in, guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe. We're gonna move on, talk about Liverpool Football Club. So yeah, please like and subscribe. I have no idea where Vater is, so Martin might as well just stick around if you can.
Martin,
so I've got 5 minutes. I'll go to your cooking.
Martin, you can't
just to answer Lewis's question.
Martin, you can't.
Lewis,
you can't.
There's a big difference between Slot and Poch. You're a fraud. I'll tell you the big difference.
Oh, he's gonna get cooked. Don't worry.
You have
the difference. Can I talk? The difference is.
I was cooked for a whole hour. You're here telling me, can you talk? Martin, you must cook this man, no? I don't want to hear any.
Did I cook you, Dio? Wow, I expect Dio to back me, and then he stabs me in the back.
That's what you get for backing Arsenal.
I was cooked.
Yeah, I'm gonna back City against you too. You bum.
I was cooked from.
And that's
why they switched it over now.
Wembley again. How about you go to Wembley and cry
again?
Everything wrong with this sport.
What happened to the arse pool? What happened to the arse pool? It was all there. The loving was on.
Martin against Chelsea. Martin. Against Chelsea, focus. Not the whole season. I'm still Arsenal over City. Now, back to the topic. As I was saying, the difference between Slot and Poch is I called out the recruitment at Chelsea when Poch was there. And even a year later, you were like, oh, Hussam, you're right. The recruitment is trash.
With best recruitment.
With Liverpool, Habibi, no one called out recruitment because we signed Isak and TK and Verts and Frimpong and Kerkez. Not 3 random Brazilians and 2 random Argentinians and a random Ecuadorian and a random French guy. We didn't do this. We didn't do this. We signed world class. Can I explain the difference? We signed world class players who are ready to win now, and the manager failed. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
And Poch got the best window on the Clear Lake with the lowest expectations.
Yes, and he did.
And that's why your 500 million is different to our 500 million.
Yes, because our 500 million is spent on proven talent. So when all these players look like shit,
someone gets it.
If Poch was asked to win a league title, I'd hear you. You'd be completely correct.
Actually, no. If Poch was asked to win a league title, you would be correct.
Tell you what you need to talk about. You need to talk about Mo Salah.
You weren't good enough to top 4, let alone a title race. That was the whole point.
Oh, Sam, you're not getting off the up. What was Mo Salah doing on Saturday? What was he doing?
He was dancing salsa.
What was he doing? Mo is washed. Mo is not that guy anymore.
What he should not. I'm sorry. That guy checked. He's checked out.
A fallen Egyptian king, bro. His peak.
Don't ever compare Garnacho to Mo.
By the way, I am not going to take Mo Salah's legacy and what he's done in the Premier League.
I called him Tutankhamun Garnacho.
That's crazy work.
But Yeah, I'm sorry,
Everyone
Mo.
has a
Osam.
fall-off season. Thierry Henry in his last year as well wasn't as good. It's okay, guys. It's
Why
okay.
you gotta bring up Thierry Henry?
Players.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why you
Dio
gotta
don't have that, man.
Because Henry is the GOAT. Now the thing is, like, for me, even KDB last season, he looked like done physically. I just think
Yeah.
it's okay. Like, I think because of social media era now, it becomes like such a like edgy thing to say, guys, it's okay for a player to fall off when he's 34. Like, he's 34, he fell off. We understand he's given it his all for the league title last season, and he's given Liverpool everything for the last 10 years. He's had a bad year at the end, and that's okay. You have 8 great seasons out of 9. Right. No one's complaining. I think if any of you signed a player in the summer and they go like they're gonna have 8 great seasons and 1 bad one, you would all take it. So he's having a very bad season.
But Sam, to be totally honest,
and I think him announcing he's gonna leave at the end of the season is good anyway, because like people are like,
no, I'm not gonna let you get away with this.
Why?
I'm gonna say it as it is. In the summer, you announced 2 contract extensions on the biggest wages you're giving out to Mo Salah and Van Dijk.
Okay.
Those 2 have not just fallen off the cliff.
Yeah.
They've just dived into the ocean and missed it completely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, Van Dijk looked like Bambi on ice on Saturday. Bambi on ice.
He did.
Kanate, don't know what's going on with him. Haaland bullied him. And the thing is, you know what was really weird about that game on Saturday? I sat there for the first 20 minutes and I went, Liverpool have learnt from the game at the Etihad earlier on, because you weren't playing a high line. You weren't bringing you were playing your defence a bit further back. The difference was this time we weren't doing the quick transitions. We were going down the width with you, which is why you had Semenyo and Doku so wide. Is that we were pressing, we were putting the crosses in, and Haaland just decided he wanted to come back to life. He wanted to get off the old life support machine and come back to life, and did what he did. Nico Riley, who, by the way, I think is a shout for young player of the season this year in the whole league. I think he's been that good. I just thought that's what surprised me, because for the first 20 minutes, it was a really good, even cup game. A little bit end to end. Liverpool probably had the better chances. Don't know what you thought, but I thought it was a real good cup game. But do you know what it reminded me of City last season? The first goal goes in and your heads just went, your heads dipped into the sand. You all became ostriches. Because once that first goal went in, the second was coming, the third was coming, the fourth, and it was just inevitable as it was going on. You could see Liverpool players shrinking on that pitch after that penalty. Shrinking. Which I've never seen before. That was worse than the first game at the Etihad. For me. Because it was the body language that made the ball. Because again, for the first 20 minutes, you were in the game. You probably even had the better chances.
Yes, I know, but here's the thing. The only thing that I'm not blaming Slot tactically, okay?
Gotcha.
Because in the first 35 minutes, we were probably the better team. My issue is when you go 1-0 down and the team gives up, that's a reflection of the mentality of the manager. Because the team completely gave up, bro. They're just not playing for him. They're not fighting, and they're not showing any passion. They're not showing any hunger. They're not showing any desire. All these things are true. And that is a reflection of the mentality of the manager, bro. That's the thing what I'm blaming Slot for. I'm not blaming him tactically. No one is. Even Slot's biggest haters aren't blaming him tactically. But at the end of the day, you go 1-0 down and the whole team gives up and the whole team collapses. That's the thing that like, okay, maybe they're just not playing for him. Szoboszlai's reaction at the end of the game where he's like sarcastically like cheering the Liverpool fans and all that. Like shit.
You have no fans left. They're all gone.
Yeah, but
I know that's
but Hossam, let me something about that. What Szoboszlai did there. I don't think that's sarcastically cheering the fans. Majority of the fans had left, and whoever was left behind, at least a player went up to say thank you for staying behind. Because again, you have to remember that this is what Szoboszlai was doing. You see this thing about how people change narrative. If I look at my team, right, and we played badly, right, on the pitch, because I play football, right, but not professionally. Like when I play, if everybody else has left and there's just one person there, I'll go and applaud them. Thank you for staying. At least you stayed behind for us. Yes, we're terrible. We admit it. I'm not just going to walk off the pitch and ignore the people that stay till the end of the game. So that, to me, that was not him being sarcastic. And I'm surprised that the media spin it that way. I'm surprised that Liverpool fans said he was being sarcastic. I'm like, really and truly? Majority of your fans had walked out of the place. They had walked out of the stadium. Where your fans were was empty. And the few that were there, the players, this guy went up there and said, thank you, which is what he would have done if you won. So just because you lost, should he ignore doing that? You know, and I think it's unfair to put that on that player, because now the narrative about Szoboszlai is he was being sarcastic on social, and that's unfair. Just saying.
I don't know about you. I thought your best player was that.
Most Liverpool fans, anyway, aren't supportive of what Szoboszlai did. Like, we are against what Szoboszlai did. We're not supportive of it. We're just saying we're in a position right now. And I was watching yesterday what Sai was saying, and I even watched a bit of the Flawless debate. And even Flawless, like he mentioned that, bro, when you have 23 players who look like shit, it's impossible for them to all be crap. Like, okay, guys, we get it. Okay, like this player's bad and that player's bad and all that stuff. Great. This is the same team that ended up winning a Premier League title last season. Okay? Like, you can be bad and you can have drop-offs, but it's impossible to be this bad. This bad, I'm sorry, I've got to look at the manager. It's the truth, because there's levels to this.
Now, this is squad that
there is actually levels. There is levels to being bad. By the way, even losing, some people might not like it. Oh, a loss is a loss and all that good stuff. Great. Okay, a loss is a loss. You can lose a game 2-1 and have fight and have chances. But when you lose a game 4-0, that's where this conversation arises from.
Again, I think Liverpool this season, I think you guys, honestly speaking, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
The manager dial, man. That's what it is. That's the main point. It's the manager, man.
Thank you, Flawless.
Flawless. I agree with you about the manager thing, but I also have to come back to this, which in my head, I'm always trying to rationalize this. The quality of players that you have. I don't care how terrible the manager is. I think that we have seen that Liverpool players, right, quality
games.
Liverpool players, quality-wise, right? Quality-wise, I can say if you on paper are better than United players, yes or no?
Yeah,
yes. On paper now let's look at Carrick. What Carrick has done with United players is they look better than the Liverpool players, right?
Absolutely.
Where do I hold these players responsible? Where you're quality players, yes, the manager might be crap, but step up and step in sometimes.
Oh yeah, of course. It's not all on Slot. He's never 100. When it's going wrong for a team, it's never 100% the manager or never 100% the players. It's what you can proportion the blame out. Should the players be doing better? Yes. 110%. The Liverpool
I agree with that, Flawless. But
without doubt.
But when I see 11 players literally shrivel up into cocoons as they did on Saturday, that's not players anymore. That's
the confidence is shot. Yeah, you can tell the confidence is shot. The 35 minutes, the game was close. Like, I agree with you, Martin. It was a great game to watch. That first half an hour, 35 minutes, I was like, right, this is actually a good game. Like, both teams are going for it. And then,
but it was a penalty. The thing is, Flawless, it was a penalty. It wasn't like we scored a marvelous goal. It was a penalty.
Yeah. But that's their
and a penalty made us give up. So you're
that's what I'm saying.
Guys. For a second, please. Hussam
Yes.
told us all last season, carry job. He told us all last season, Mo Salah, look at the season that he's delivered. Look at what he did, covering up, papering up the cracks. All whatever was Slot's problem, this guy made it right. And he talked about players dropping their heads, losing belief. Well, when this guy is missing the shots that he missed on Saturday, when he was the guy that was maybe the lightning rod that everybody
big
maybe...
Big up Kush, Vader. Come on now. Big up Kushinoff.
Okay, I can big up Kushinoff, but at the same time...
No,
Martin, this is a tag team. Martin just gave me an alley-oop.
I
can big up Kushinoff, but at the same time, when I see Kushinoff trying to keep pace with Salah, try to defend, gets hit, falls over and does a somersault, get up and still be able to challenge Salah. I'm like, what the heck? Who is this guy? Who is this? Who is this man that
Salah looked like my granddad? He's been dead for 10 years. He looks as slow as him getting up. Kushinoff, like I said, Kushinoff did a backflip, fell over, tied his shoelace and still got up and beat him.
And still got up to challenge Mo Salah, who Don Hussam was like, give him the contract, give Mo whatever he wants. Well, you're giving this man whatever he wants for the next season to be a drop-off, for the next season to not be worth the money that he's getting right now. This fall off is incredible. And it goes to a man we can't ignore. Players look around and see what contracts are all about. Players look around and see who is the guy that's getting the favoritism, or who is the guy that's maybe getting the energy of the club. If they leaned on him so heavily last season, and then they look at him this season with a new contract and not delivering, yeah, heads are going to drop. Yeah, the belief in like we can do it is not going to be there.
Sorry to jump in. He's gone before Slot has.
That's wild. That's wild.
That is the wildest thing in this. He's gone before Slot's gone.
Yeah, Chelsea. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
And you all think Slot's going in the end.
Though, I have to thank Man City for one reason, because I know Vader secretly watches the Liverpool shows, but the Friday Liverpool show, we got an embargoed part of the press conference, and they were putting out statements basically that they're pro-Slot, the club. The club were pro-Slot.
Slot ain't going nowhere,
Man City. As soon as we lost to Man City, every single journalist since Saturday is basically saying that Slot is gone. We got to the stage on the Friday show where we all lost it, because we all basically said Slot is like gonna stay and he's planning the summer transfer window, etc. We got Paul Joyce, Lewis Steele, The Telegraph, all sorts of like newspapers and like people that Liverpool fan base.
Have you seen Oliver Holt today, Hussam?
No,
Oliver Holt has done a piece basically saying that Liverpool, just put it, you have to read the whole piece. Basically, they feel they're in a better position than they were with, after Klopp, than what they expected.
Yeah. No, that is true. But here's the thing. Sense. Guess what? It's true right now. You're telling me. Listen, let's just be honest.
So I don't think he's going anywhere.
Let's just be honest about this. Let's be
honest.
Wirtz, Isak, Frimpong, and Kerkez in the summer. Is it fair to say that out of 100 Premier League fans, 85% probably said that Liverpool will win the league?
I think it's more than that, but yeah, to answer your question, yes.
I'm even being
I'll be honest with you, I think everyone had Liverpool nailed on.
Yeah, general consensus, most people 85%. Had Liverpool, yes.
I'm still saying, even with washed Mo and even with washed Virgil, if I go back to August and I hire a good manager that can at least get these players playing to 75% of their ability, that we would still have a chance of winning the league. And you want to know why? Right. Because City haven't been that impressive and Arsenal haven't been that impressive. That's the truth. Yeah. But Arsenal are the best team in the league right now, and they deserve to win the league, and I think they will win the league. Do I think that Liverpool could have given them a challenge had these players been performing at least at 75% of their capabilities? Hell yeah. Because you want to know what 75% Isak is? That's 16, 17 goals. You want to know what 75% Wirtz is? That's at least like 16, 17, 18 GA. You're adding to this team. 75% of this. Kerkez wasn't team of the season, bro. He was the team of the season left back playing for Bournemouth. Not playing for one of the
Kerkez was not a bum. Me and you talked about this. City and Liverpool were going head to head for Kerkez in the summer.
Yeah.
I think.
But there is no coincidence that a lot of Liverpool signings City were looking at as well.
Yeah. See, Martin, I think the Salah slander. No, I think the Salah slander is way too much. Again, what do you expect from a player who is aged out? Like, let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
And again, when people say, but you gave him a contract, you're paying him a lot of money. Yes, you're paying him for what he's done for the club already. But
no, you're not.
No. Listen, hey, let me finish.
No, you're not.
When you spoke, I didn't interrupt you. I let you speak, Vader.
I know, but I was speaking sense.
Hold on. Yeah, okay, fine.
No, you weren't.
Okay, fine. Let me speak my nonsense since you're speaking sense. I'll speak my
but Dio, that is nonsense. You don't pay players Okay. Go. I'll hear you.
Can I jump? I'm going to go on mute. I'm going to go on mute. Back. Now Vader's back. Can I jump?
Large up, Martin. Large up.
I'm going to go on mute. I'd prefer had you stayed, but anyway, it's okay.
Wow. Anyway, Osam, message me and we'll sort out the show. Big up, Paul. Big up, Dio. Big up, Jay Flawless. Big up, guys.
Blessings, man. Big up.
Big up. Mancunian way in the description. Big up, Martin. Vader, just 1 second. Go ahead.
Dio, my apologies. I'm going to go on mute. I'm going to hear you explain why Mo got a contract for last season.
That's not what I said, but yeah. What I mean by this is simple. when a player at a certain point of last season was scoring 75%, right, of the goals for Liverpool, literally carrying the club on his back, he deserves a new contract.
I agree.
It's simple. He deserves a new contract. Now, this contract is not based on what he's going to do in the future. It was based on what he did, and that's why he's been valued that way. Now, if he does better next season, you will renew the contract and even pay him more. This is what you do. You increase the contract of a player not based on the prospect of what they're going to do in the future, but based on what they delivered for you the last season. He won them the Premier League. He was the highest goal scorer. He had a season like no other player. Of course, you're going to look at the player and say, hey, man, you know what? If you could do this last season, I expect better. Let's put pen to paper. That's how you do business, right? You don't do business based on, oh, you know what? Okay, if Mo was average last season, let's assume he was average. Let's assume Mo had a crappy season. Do you think they would have offered Mo a new contract to the tune of 350, 400 a week? No, they would not have. The reason they didn't offer every single player on that squad those type of contracts is because there were certain players in that team that carried the team. Mo Salah was one of them. So let's not sit here and say that the contract was placed on the table because of what they were expecting him to do. It was based off what he had delivered first. They're like, hey, you did this, here's a new contract.
Wait. Hussam, you agree to this? Everybody in the chat, you guys believe that contracts
Virgil and Log didn't get the money based on what they'll do in the future.
I think it's
on what they've done.
I ain't gonna lie. I think it's obviously it can vary in regards to the age of a player and stuff like that, and the length of a contract. But I look at it more often and think it's both.
Yeah, but again,
I think most of the time, in most scenarios, it's based off of both. Salah got that contract. Yes, they was expecting him, of course, to perform still at a high level. You don't give someone that amount of money without that. But they're also looking at what you just did, and you have been compensated for that as well. I think it's both.
So let me try to make it relatable. So Saka's contract is for what, Dio?
Future.
Saka's contract is because again, Saka is younger. That's
wait. Future doesn't make sense, Hussam, because that's not what Dio's explaining. Go ahead.
Saka's contract has gotten better year after year. You know why? His GA has gotten better year after year for Arsenal. And for Arsenal on the position that we're in, Saka has been our most consistent player. Hence why his contract is getting better every single year because of what he did for us the previous season and where he carried us up onto. We didn't win anything with him, but in the Arsenal context, he's been our most consistent player.
Vader, why do you want to just black and white answers?
What are we doing here?
No, I don't want black.
Explanation is Dio's explanation is calm. He explained it really well. Why do you want to black?
He did not explain it. No, guys.
Listen, I think here's the thing. It's a different thing now. If you tell me that Arsenal goes ahead, let's say we take Max Dalman, and then we're like, okay, we've seen what you can do on the pitch. We're going to give you 350K a week because we think you're going to become an amazing player. No club does that. No club looks at the player right now and says, hey, you know what? I think next season you're going to give me 40 GA, so here's 400K a week. They don't do that. If the player this season gives you 25 GA by himself or 30 GA, you're like, you know what? Hey, I need to keep this guy. This guy is one of my best. I need to keep him, and so let me give him a better contract. Now you're hoping that the person does well. Agreed. I hear that. But I'm not going to then hold that salary over your head when you don't do well because you earned it. You showed me that you could do it. That's why your salary gets increased. You get a salary increase at your job because of your performance at the end of the year and your bonus. You don't get it based on what they think you're going to do.
Dio, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth, and just for everybody in the chat, you're getting that contract. No, hold up. You're getting that contract based off of the performances that you showed previously and the expectation that you're going to keep that moving forward. Right?
Yes, I said that both, right?
Yeah. So Flawless was on point. He said both. But the fact that Don and Dio were in agreement that Mo got the money because of what he did before and it had nothing to do with moving forward, that's inaccurate. And with regards to Saka got that deal. Yes, he was one of your better performances, but the reason why he got that pay increase is because, you've reached this level and we expect you to keep this level. The reason why I bring up Mo Salah is because he reached that level and dropped. That's why it's an issue. That's why the club is saying, listen, you're out of here. As much as the fighting was going on, give him the contract. Now Hussam, a couple 6 months, 7 months later is saying, you know what? Mo's washed. He can go now.
You see, this is why I said, let's look at Mo's age. I believe strongly that the club
what is wrong with Vader? What's wrong
club
with you
looked at what Mo did at 33 and said, yeah, we'll give you a couple more years contract because we expect the final.
Is Mo not the same age he was when he signed the contract?
Mo Salah
got a year older.
Did he get? Is he a year older? Is he a year older?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh no, when did he sign the contract? When was the actual contract signed?
Because it's not August yet. It's not a year later since he signed the contract.
I have never seen.
Are you really being that facetious?
You're giving him. So you gave him money for 1 year, or you gave him money for 6 months? Because he's been looking poor for a very long time right now.
Let's explain this. Okay, the problem is you didn't listen to Dio's explanation. Me and Flawless both agreed with Dio.
No, don't agree with Flawless. Flawless was completely right.
Flawless agreed with us too.
He said it was both.
Yeah, and that's Dio.
So he's in agreement with me. He's in agreement with me too. Say that as well.
You didn't say both.
No.
What you said, stop it, Vado.
You want the black and white answer. He gave the gray answer. That's what I said.
Simply said, Vado, was that Mo Salah was being paid for what he was going to do. You ignored what he had done. You didn't mention that aspect of it.
I didn't ignore it. I just didn't mention it. I didn't ignore it. I didn't mention it.
You didn't mention it, so you admit that you didn't mention it. So
I didn't mention it, but it's not because I ignored it. It's because the important.
When I brought it up,
Ahead.
you said, "Oh, I'm talking sense. And I said, let me talk my nonsense, right? Because you said you were talking sense, and what you said was Mo got the pay because of what they expected him to do in the future. And I said, Mo got that pay rise because majorly of his performance in the last season, where he carried the club and at a certain point was the one who was responsible for 75% of Liverpool's goals.
Yes, Dio, but was the expectation not for him to keep that level?
Listen, so again, expectations are expectations, right? Because you don't know the future. But the reason that they gave that kind of contract,
Dio, the reason why you got that salary increase is because they expect you to keep that same good quality of work moving forward. What are we doing?
What was the reason they renegotiated to that extent? If Mo Salah did not play the way he played last season, he wasn't getting that kind of contract placed in front of him, first and foremost.
Yeah, exactly.
If he didn't score 75% of Liverpool's goal, if he didn't carry that club on his back, nobody's offering him 400k a week. You cannot argue that fact. The reason they gave him that level of contract was based on the performance from last season, and they're expecting you, I agree, to keep it up. But the point is, I'm only giving you 400k because you showed me a certain level. If you don't show that level, you're not getting the 400k a week deal. What are we doing?
Van Dijk got a pay increase as well. Van Dijk got his 2-year contract as well. So Van Dijk was good for them, but Van Dijk didn't have a record-setting season like Salah did, and they're getting paid the same. So hear me out when I talk about, yes, performances dictate you getting a new contract, but best believe that the club expects you to be at that level moving forward. Mo has fallen off a cliff. When Martin was on this show and we were speaking, there was never ever a Mo Salah that would have a player do a somersault, get back on their feet, and be able to challenge him and not have him put a shot on target. There was also another Mo that knows that it's his farewell season because he said, I'm not going to be here next year, and he misses a penalty in a big game versus big club Manchester City. This Mo is washed 6 months later from everybody saying, give this man his contract, 2 years, we want him here. Now we're 6 months later and they're like, yeah, Mo, you can go. So this was not expected by any Liverpool fan.
Peter, can I give you an explanation? Just an honest explanation. If you want to be honest, because you have two Vaters. You have the gaslighter and the honest version. So let's bring in the honest version.
How many Hussam versions are there?
Same version.
What do you mean same? You have multiple versions or just one?
No, just the same guy. I'm the same guy.
Yeah, okay, you're the same guy. All right.
I'm a chill guy, and that's it. Now, when it comes to everything you're saying, Habibi, you need to understand. Yeah. When Mo gets an extension and gets 450 grand a week, Dio explained it perfectly. It brings in both sides. The past and the future. It's not just past and it's not just future. The problem with you is you want a black and white answer. It's not black and white. Did the club expect Salah to fall off this much this season? No. Simple answer. But did he deserve that money at the time? Yes. Simple answer. So you're looking at it from a perspective of like, oh, you paid him so much money and he just fell off a cliff. Yeah, no, we didn't expect him to fall off a cliff. Oh, you paid Van Dijk so much money and he fell off a cliff. Yeah, we didn't expect him to fall off a cliff. But guess what? If I went back in time, I would still give them that money because, and I'll explain to you, if Liverpool didn't win the league last season, I probably don't see Liverpool signing Wirtz and Isak and Ekitike and Frimpong and Kerkez and being looked at as top dogs in the summer in terms of signing players. because Florian Wirtz joined us because we're Premier League champions. Isak joined us because we're Premier League champions. So did Ekitike. And guess what? Mo is part of that. So because you're looking at it as
let me cut you mid-flow. Let me cut you mid-flow. Hold on.
No, let me land this point. I'm going to mute my mic. The Wirtz thing, right? If you're Florian Wirtz and they're not paying their best player for the last 10 years money, why should you sign for Liverpool? If you're Isak and they're not paying Virgil van Dijk money, why should you sign for Liverpool? So all these things come into consideration. It's not just black and white. And I've already acknowledged that I don't think the club expected them to fall off this much. So
Okay,
no problem.
now let me respond to this. Do you believe that Wirtz, Isak sign with Liverpool if Mo and Van Dijk aren't renewed?
Say that again, sorry?
Do you think your two marquee signings, Wirtz and Isak, do you think they choose not to go to Liverpool if there is no Van Dijk and no Mo Salah signed?
And we aren't league champions, yeah.
No. You're league champions.
Because that's the other reason I mentioned. Why do you hone in on one point, bro?
Dude, they were you guys were league champions before the contract was given to them.
Yes.
You guys were already league champions.
Okay, do I think Wirtz and Isak were attracted of the idea of playing with Van Dijk and Salah? Yes, I think it's part of it, 100%.
All right, so I'm just asking, do you think these two players still commit to Liverpool if you're league champions and you have all this money to also splash on two players? Because you said, in hindsight, I would do it over again. And I would ask you, well, if you would do it over again, or you have the choice not to do it over again, I'm asking, would these two marquee players still come to Liverpool if you don't have Salah, if you don't have Van Dijk?
There's a possibility they don't. Possibility.
Okay, but when we do possibilities, we don't answer anything.
This is a whole gray area conversation.
Okay, so hear me out. Hear me out. If you were to do it over again, I think, because we've seen the fall off, we've seen the disaster of a season that you're having. If you were able to do it over again, I think you say, thank you, Van Dijk, thank you, Mo. We won it. Farewell. Bye-bye. Put that money towards something else. And you would be right to, because you've seen the future. You've seen the fall off. You're fighting for Europe. You're fighting for the UCL. So knowing all that, I don't think you should, if you were to be able to go back in time to renew Salah or Van Dijk. I think that's right. Because we're in hindsight and we can see it. Is that confusing, Dio?
What are we doing here? Like, what is this conversation? Let's be realistic. What is this conversation?
Yeah, what are you doing? I don't understand.
Like, this is all like. So, you think that
he's gone?
Let's talk about the end of last season where Liverpool won the league and everybody knows that Salah carried that team. Everybody saw it, right? As a player coming to Liverpool, as a Wirtz, I'm saying to myself, hey, see how they treat their best players. They're giving them good money. If I go there, I'm attracted to playing with winners. If I go there and I step up and I become one of the best players there too, I'll also get compensated very well. This is part of things that people see from the outside. Like, if you don't take care of your best players at the end of the season for performing the way they performed, and you turn around and just treat them anyhow, you think that you're trying to get Isak. Oh, imagine Salah carrying Liverpool to the end of the season, doing all that. You don't renew his contract. You let him go. You don't, or you keep him. You don't increase his wages. Then you bring in an Isak and you want to pay Isak 300, but Salah is still earning 150 at the time. And you think that Salah would not, like, again, there's a business side to this where you have to balance out for players on the outside to look and say, hey, I like the way they're treating their best players. I'm going to go there.
Exactly. That's it.
The drop off. Nobody. Now, if you're talking in hindsight, because we now see the drop off, you can say all the negatives you want to say. But the truth is, at the very time it happened, you weren't expecting a drop off. You weren't expecting a drop off.
No, that's what it is. But Vay's point is obviously based in hindsight.
Yeah,
because there would have been people arguing against Van Dijk and Salah getting the contracts for that money. Then people have now been proven right. However, at the time, it was a debate. But those people now, because of how it's gone, I believe that.
And Dio, we can't ignore there was a portion of Liverpool fans that were saying, "Don't."
It's just Vay is delivering it in an antagonizing way and pouring salt.
Oh, now
and now he's even got the Liverpool fans rattle. If Liverpool let Salah and Van Dijk go, do you think
you could have said what I said, but you didn't?
No. This is even a good response by IKEA. If Liverpool let Salah and Van Dijk go, do you think we're challenging for the league since they're the main problem and not Slot? Go on.
You're not challenging for the league.
That's
How do
not
I
his
answer
question.
this?
Don't
No,
gaslight the question.
No. I'm trying to. So I don't understand the question.
You think?
Okay, the question is, if
go.
Mo and Van Dijk were let go in the summer, do you think Liverpool would challenge for the league? With Slot?
Challenge if they were let go this past summer, would you guys challenge for the league this season?
Yes, with Slot.
Well, again, if I'm gonna do the Hussam, who only has one version of Hussam, it's a possibility.
Only one version of Hussam.
It depends on who you sign to replace Salah. It depends on who you sign to replace Van Dijk. But look, you said it yourself. This is
the
a
black
weak
and white conversation. He makes it gray, and the gray conversation he makes it black.
No, because that's the thing.
Oh,
the thing
but when
is
I
with-
answer in gray the way you want to answer, it's then not acceptable. I'm using your logic. Remember, Hussam? I'm
Here's the
using your
thing is
logic
with that-
against you.
Here's the thing: is with the question is who do they replace him with? And
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
think it
saying.
made- I know, but to add to that, I don't think it makes a major difference because of the manager they have, and I don't even think if they replace those two players well, that the manager would be such a detriment to what's going on. So let's say they got a centre back and a winger that we are all saying he's one of the best centre backs in the league. He's been one of the best this season. And same with
Flawless.
the right
I'll take that one further. If they don't sign Van Dijk, I don't get Gahey in my belief.
Yeah.
So right, the strength that I have in terms of where I'm at is probably weakened because Liverpool. There's a lot of dominoes here, but
100%
right.
of it.
So it all depends on where they make the movement. But I would say this: yes, Slot. Go ahead, interrupt me. Go ahead.
No, go on, finish whatever.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
No, finish the sense that you're saying.
Just
But that's
finish
where-
it, Vader.
But,
Can you not do
but
this
that's
drama,
what Vader,
please?
that's what it is in regards to it. Let's say they do sign Guehi, and Guehi goes there, and we say he's been one of the best centre backs in the league this season. The right winger, whoever they got for Salah, performed to a very, very good level. Yes, they'd be better, but I still think it'd still be a what if because it's in spite of Slot. Because Slot has been that much of a detriment.
Slot has been poor. Yeah, I agree.
To everyone. Again, that's not mean the players are blameless. I'm just saying when all of their talented players are awful. Bear in mind, this is the team he had for the most part last season, and everyone's just falling off. Even the players who perform well last year. Gravenberch is a prime example. But that's clear instruction from him as to why Gravenberch has had the fall off. It's clear instruction for them. Should Gravenberch be playing better?
Possibly.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm flawless again with the levels to which Salah and Van Dijk and that team performed. Well, some players in that team performed the season before. It was very hard to look in the summer and replace that level of play.
Yeah. Van Dijk and Salah is tough. Yes, 100%.
Van Dijk and Salah, the way the both of them individually performed during that last season. Who do you go and buy in the summer that you will expect talent-wise?
Great question, Dio. Great question. Because now they're going to face that same question this summer.
Yeah,
you know what you do? It's not Dio. It's not an individual thing because you don't go and there's nobody who's Van Dijk level where he was at. There was no one that's Salah level like that. You know, you improve the team.
I know, but that's why I said as the club, you feel like there's nobody there that can actually do what these guys have just done. So I need to keep them. I'm not expecting them to.
By the way, if we went back to the summer, if we went back to the summertime, which Vader's talking about, I think, and I'm actually being objective, I think probably Liverpool fans wouldn't have traded Van Dijk for anyone because of the centre back market. Like respectfully, even if you said Saliba or Gabriel or Bastoni, people would say I'd rather keep Van Dijk. And to be honest, I'm gonna be straight up. Probably the only one that Liverpool fans would have traded Mo for in the summer would probably be Lamine Yamal. In the summer, I'm saying. Don't ask me now. In the summer, I said.
Yeah, but this is why
because the right wing is different position.
Team,
like
it's from a team perspective. You're not gonna go out there and get a Van Dijk like one. Same way with Salah. I'm saying
tell him, Flawless. Tell him.
Where I'm at with it is team wise. So you go and get a centre back, and then maybe you go get a defensive midfielder.
Tell him.
Same way with Salah. You're not going to get somebody who gets Salah's goals and assists. That is highly unlikely. But you get someone who's a right winger, and then you buy a 10, and then maybe you sign a fullback to supplement that. Because people seem to just overlook the fact that it's a team game. Yes, if you have fantastic individuals, of course it's going to help. If you've got an attacker who can get 30 goals and 20 assists, bring him to our football clubs.
And it's never going to happen. This is the funny thing. Flawless. This is the funny thing. I had to let my King Kevin go. Right? I had to let my King Kevin go. And yes, there was the opportunity until the price tag got way too high. But there was the opportunity to go after Wirtz. But I knew it was never going to be a same level of production or quality coming into the club. This is where it's like Van Dijk, Salah, they have to be moved on, right? And again, all we did was just kick the can down the road one season. I'm curious to see what Liverpool fans are going to quote unquote settle with when Salah has to get replaced and Van Dijk have to get replaced this summer.
But this is disingenuous, right? Because KDB had a bad season already in his last season. This is Salah's bad season. Salah last season had a great season. So why do I let go of a guy who had a great season to replace him with somebody who might not give me the same
white out?
No. Here's what I'm saying. KDB's season last season was already bad with injuries and everything, and we saw it not because KDB is a bad player, but because that's just the season that he had. So when he was leaving in the summer, you were like, you know what? He's given us his worst season so far. I think we need to replace him now. So you're looking at Verts and all that. For Salah, he was having a great season. For Van Dijk, he was having a great season. At the summer, you're not trying to replace those guys. You're trying to just bring in an understudy. That's what I would do as a club, because I wouldn't expect them to fall off as much as they've fallen off this season. I'd be looking for an understudy and not a replacement. Big difference. If KDB gave you a 24 GA season in his last season, would you be looking to move him out in the summer? Or if he gave you a 30 GA in the last season and you went on to win the Champions League, or you went on to win the Premier League? Let's assume Man City last season went on to win the Premier League with KDB giving you 35 GA in all competitions, playing at his best, and Rodri. Would you have sold KDB in the summer is the question.
Dio, I like these hypotheticals. I like how we're able to like do the what ifs. You kind of poo-pooed on my what if in terms of hindsight, but I like this with regards to KDB.
Yes, would you have?
I like this with regards to KDB.
I actually think it's a good question. I'm even bullshit. I like the question. I got a response to it though, but go on, Bill.
Would you have sold KDB with a 35 GA in all competitions for you, and you won the league? Let's assume you won the league and not Liverpool. Would you sell KDB in the summer or just find an understudy? Yes or no? Give me one.
So, with regards to KDB having a record-setting season, like you mentioned, no injury plagued.
No injury plagued.
I would want to keep KDB, but I would have to sign the replacement as well. Now I had to disagree with what you were saying. Let me finish. Let me answer.
I'm not done. So you would want to keep him.
So you would have kept him anyway. Great.
No, see, this is why I want to continue my point, but he wants to cut me off from finishing my point.
Finish your point, but here's the thing, which is why Liverpool wanted.
You just said give him a contract, so you'd have given more a contract.
You'd have given him a better contract. You'd have kept him, which is why Liverpool did the same thing for Van Dijk and Salah. Simple. That's all I'm trying to get at. That's all I'm
right. Well, you cut me off before I could finish my point.
I want to hear your this is good.
I knowing that KDB is on the latter side, I wouldn't get his understudy, which was, I think, fraudulent, and why you're in the mess that you're in with regards to Arsenal and your depth. I would get the replacement player. The same way I got Rodri when I had Fernandinho. I have to get the player that will be stepping in on the exit of a great. Not a understudy that's not going to be of the level, and I'm not going to have them play at a high enough level versus Southampton when I need them. I'm getting the replacement player in addition to keeping someone like KDB. That's why I want to finish my complete answer.
Go on now.
But you kept him, though, is the point. My point is when
you kept him.
When you have players performing at that level, I was talking about the fact that they kept him, gave him a better contract, and Van Dijk because of their performances, so that going into next season, you're not expecting them to drop off. Now, the mistake they made, did they sign an understudy? No, they did not. They should have, but they did not. Fair enough. But
you don't sign understudies.
Again, in keeping the player, when you perform at that level with that kind of, like, dude, the season Salah had, who else is going to come there and say, listen, I'm going to be the replacement and perform at this level? Who else?
No, but that's the problem. It's a record-setting level. You're not expecting someone to come in and play at that level. Oh my gosh.
But a benchmark has been set in the last season.
It's an unrealistic benchmark, Dio. What Mo did was incredible. You're not finding the next player to do that. That's my point that I'm trying to make.
And here's what I'd say to it. As fans, if someone has a record-breaking season and we win a league title and your team wins a league title, we're not going to be called for the player to be sold. No.
Simple.
But this is on the job of the manager. This is on the job of the coaches, and it's very, very tough to do. So this ain't even a shot at Liverpool. Your job is to know when
better than the fans.
Like it's supposed to know. As a United fan, United fans will know in the chat you're of a certain age. If you're a 90s baby or you're 80s baby, you'll know this. We sold many a player coming off great seasons. You know why? Because the manager realized, hey, you know what? The way we're trying to go isn't with this player for various reasons, whether it's the way we're trying to play, whether it's injuries, whether it means there's a drop-off in the hunger. And don't get mistaken, you get it wrong. The managers admitted, Fergie admitted about getting the Yap Stam one wrong, for instance. But there's times we saw players, and me being younger, being like, how are we selling such and such? We've just won. He just got all these goals, or he played this well. And it turns out, in hindsight, it was the correct decision. Now, it might not have paid dividends that following season, that exact next one, but further down the line, it did. I believe when we saw Beckham, we won the league. I believe so. I could be wrong.
It's better to be 1 year early than 1 year late.
And people were livid. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what do you mean he's going to Madrid? This is someone who's been here for so long and so consistent and so many trophies and played his part. So this is on the club to figure out. So sometimes, yes, selling a player is in the best interest. And again, not necessarily because the player's falling off. He might just not be in the plans of the way you're trying to play. And again, you're never going to replace Salah's numbers.
Exactly. So flawless.
Listen, guys, let's just agree to disagree because we've been doing this show for 2 hours. I'm gonna wrap up now.
Wait. Did Martin talk about Holland? Did he talk about Holland?
Yeah. We covered everything.
You covered everything? Yeah. Did he also talk about Semenyo? Did he talk about Semenyo?
Yeah. We spoke about how amazing Holland Semenyo were and how great Pep is.
I'm so glad Semenyo's with City. He could have been a Liverpool player. I'm so glad he's with City. What about Gahey? Did you guys talk about Gahey?
Yes, how he beat Liverpool 5 times this season. Big up to you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so.
What about Shirky? Did you talk about Shirky?
We're gonna redirect you guys.
The Shirky inverts head-to-head matchup. Shirky winning that battle again. Did we talk about Shirky only costed 30 mil?
Live doing a Q&A, and I'm gonna see you guys back on MHF in an hour as well. Yalla, love you guys, and all the links.
I swear down, Vader, you are the man. I swear down.
See you guys at Sarcasm TV.
Oh my God, bro, you